Hello, everyone. It's Blue. We're here to look at some AWOL today. Thank you to everyone that is in the chat at the moment, except for Bull, but Rune Folk in particular. Excited to see you in the chat. But yeah, we're here to do some Altered Weekly Online League, Season 2, Wednesday Weekly, number 13, I believe. I'll have a co-caster here momentarily, as you'll see to the right there. Geo will be joining us today. Throng, did you watch Black Mirror, Cole? Played that mobile game um that they had that went along with it. I haven't finished the rest of the season though. That's the last episode I watched. Either way, let's talk about some altered. We are in fact at the weekly 13 for Wednesday of AWOL season 2. And yeah, should be a good time. See some of the usual suspects on the participant lists. We got a good old fashioned El Fiend Turi, we've seen around a few different times now, playing some of those double token generators on the Sigismar. Rune Folk as well. Yeah, you watched the episode. Yeah, it was fun. I think I downloaded the mobile app and beat the game in the same day and just stayed up too late finishing it. But yeah, yeah, Runefolk freeloader is in there as well. I'm curious, is the AQZ um competition of heroes done yet? I haven't been keeping up on that. Either way, yeah, but we have quite a few other people that we see as far as in these weeklies quite often. So should be interesting to see what people are going to bring out. We can always expect some new stuff, especially along the lines of later in this season to take a look at. Currently building up the player count. We are about 2 to 3 minutes away from the start, and we'll see how it goes thus far. We're still trying our hardest for the heroes. I'm leading currently with 5 heroes left. Okay, so that is the active update for everyone that was wondering with the AQZ race to top with all heroes. Runefolk is only 5 heroes left at the moment, which is impressive too because I forced him to do some streaming for a lot of these, and he's had to miss some, especially this last Monday. Props to Runefolk for taking care of that all by his lonesome. My instructions were probably superb, and that's why you were able to make it work. So you're welcome for you being great. I will take credit for that. Yeah, wait until you get new heroes, right, Simon? Yeah, which is guaranteed in set 4 from what I heard, right? It's guaranteed, not just a possibility. Absolutely guaranteed. Exactly, Cole. Set 4 confirmed new heroes. I Simon said it, so I believe him. But yeah, we are starting up here shortly with the AWOL season 2 Wednesday weekly number 13. 1 minute left, and let's see the latest update as far as what we got going here. Do 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 do. All right. Yep, still waiting on that. Should be closing in here on the top of the tippy top of the hours. Only like 30 seconds left, I believe. So see how that goes. Yeah, excited to see what people can bring out and potentially some new heroes, some new stuff being played. I have been running into on just the usual matchmaking grind on BGA some fun decks that people are trying out. Been enjoying seeing some of the Lyra Festival decks that people are putting together. Honestly, it when you play against a Lyre Festival deck, it always feels like they have exactly the right card that they need all the time when technically they shouldn't have it, right? Like odds wise, they shouldn't have exactly 1 mana and a beauty sleep ready to go all the time to win the game, right? But they always happen to do it, even when you're ready for them, and then they'll have it again the next turn. Like, what? How did that happen? Either way, we are getting up on time here. We should be starting here momentarily. I'll go ahead and talk to myself until Geo is able to show up, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we do have the first pairings up. that we can take a look at. I'm gonna go ahead and put Geo as Navenka until he's able to show up. And in the meantime, we'll just go ahead and click on some folks and see what they got going here. I'm gonna start off with Rune Folk here, table number 6. See what we have going. We'll wait for the refresh. And see if anything is starting soon as we wait for the game art to show up. Want to thank everyone that has joined us thus far on the stream, listening to me talk and watch some altered overall. It's been a long season. I want to thank Simon for coordinating all of this and getting things ready for the invitational. Be sure if you have passed or you are in the invitational to be ready for it. I mean, I'm excited to see who can come out and take the whole thing. Hopefully, we're not left with Keelan guy winning the whole thing again, but maybe we will. Who knows? Not me. Either way, we are in game here. We have a good old fashioned Bravos matchup of Kojo and Buddha versus Utsadi. And yeah, no advancements yet, but it looks like Kojo's looking pretty good here as far as just putting a whole bunch of stats on the board. This is probably one of those ideal scenarios as a Kojo player where you get a nice 2-1 setup, you're on a Buddha turn, and it's going to be pretty gosh darn hard to prevent you from double advancing with any amount of cards, especially as an Itsadi, depending on what you're playing. But, not a bad start either for the Saudi. Probably looking at still getting in advance while also being able to ramp a little bit on that tiny gen, I'd have to imagine, as far as the good old Chiron tiny gen to Chiron play. But, we'll see if that's what they ended up doing. We're still waiting on Vint to figure that out, as we do have Runefolk on the Kojo, which is also surprising. And it did look like Vint opted for the advance opposed to getting that ramp for the Tiny Gen. And probably looking at that as their day 2 play with 2 mana, being able to go first. Oh, you are the Saudi? Well, fuck me. I mean, sorry, language. Yeah, Runefolk is the Itzadi. It was showing the opposite on my end, but it's fine. Either way, um, hello there, Kayuko. Thanks for joining. We're watching a nice little Bravos matchup here. Runefolk opting not to do the rampity ramp and is gonna probably do it here fairly soon. Unfortunately, did not run into the single mountain terrain to play off of. Ran into some water and a starting of forest. But what can you do? Yeah, it's Saudi versus better at Saudi. Yeah, if only Kojo was actually at Saudi. But either way, Bravos as a whole, probably one of my favorite factions next to Ortis. The others not so much. I do like Ysmir. I just don't play Ysmir as much, which is not ideal. I wish Ysmir overall was better than just didn't rely on a Faunus all the time, but what can you do? We will see Runefolk opt to throw out the good old fashioned day 2 Mighty Gen play, which is usually pretty hard to deal with, especially if you run into one of those individual mountain or forest terrains yourself. And only having a Pathfinder in the reserve, not going to be able to contest very well with what they have there, but maybe there's something in hand that they want to play. Potentially another Mighty Jin themselves probably wouldn't be all that bad either. But we'll see if the Kojo can match what Runefolk has and see how we got things sorted here. Let me check real quick here. One second, guys. There. Looks like Geo is trying to get in. Let me do something here real quick while we wait for the Kojo to make a play. And they're just gonna say, I'm not gonna play anything other than that one Seringer. I had two other mana left to play, but didn't feel like it was necessary. And we will see the draw from Runefolk from the Mighty Jin going to reserve. Mm, I got an echo. 1 second. There. Okay. Hi, everyone. All right. All right. I think we're good now. Geo, you cannot hear you. I hear a echo of myself. So if you have me on some type of speaker, might need to check what your input is for the microphone. We do have a unique tooth fairy though in Bravos. Nice little 2 cost from hand sabotage. Let me go back real quick so I can try to do some
Does
stuff here.
that sound better?
There you are. I think I can hear you now.
Alrighty. Okay.
Perfect.
So, apologize for the tardiness. These things get adapted. And what table are you on, brother?
I believe it was table 6 with Vint and Runefolk at the moment.
Just right here. Well, where's it?
Get it?
No, I'm on another. I'm on a different one apparently. Why am
Mhm.
I not? Ugh. All right, let me find it on BGA. I don't know why I'm not there.
Get the
Not popping up the.
did you need me to send you the link?
Oh, if you could, yeah,
Yeah,
that'd
no
be
worries.
awesome. Ah, you guys make me feel so old.
There. Get
Sending it
there.
on Discord or through this
I'll send it
thing.
through Discord.
Aren't you the best?
So that's the tournament link, and I believe, I was on table 6, but you can verify that. But it's the one with
Mm,
Vint and Runefolk.
you are correct, senor. Good
Alright,
game.
cool. Alright, so we
What do you
just
got on this
did
one so far?
yeah, so we did just wrap up this individual day here. We did see an Amarok come out from Runefolk on the Itzadi. Not a card I think that we were expecting it initially when the set came out, but I feel like I haven't seen it as much in Itzadi decks because it feels like it's usually a card that you want to play pretty early on and it's not as useful later in the
Yeah, because
matchup, but
what
we'll
other
have to see.
cards? What other cards played well with like a Saudi and a sacrifice, right? It's not like you got Krakens and Bravos. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about it, right? What else can you play with it except something you want to get? I don't know. I wouldn't know
Yeah,
off
I
the top of
mean,
my head.
the rare
It's just good
Amarok
stats for
yeah.
cheap, quote unquote, right?
Yeah, and it triggers the Itzadi ability, getting the draw, which is what I was mentioning. It would probably it's like a fun little day one play that you can make, but if you don't get it in that opening hand, it doesn't feel as good. I mean, essentially the same thing as a or better stats as like a Baba Yaga kind of thing, but you have to get it right away, and it's not necessarily as good in that aspect for later
Yeah.
on in the game.
Yeah.
But, we do finally see the first Haven come out here for the Kojo, and a second one gets resupplied, and
Ooh,
we'll have to see if that's
big
able to
numbers.
yeah, we'll be able to get something good off of that from the Tooth Fairy in the reserve, and we may even just see the second Haven pop out here as well, but, we'll have to wait and see how that goes.
Would you run it?
Run
Would you
what?
run the Haven? The Haven? Would you play it right now?
I don't know what else he has, to be honest. You could
With those
probably
two options, I'd probably do it.
uh,
I would.
Yeah, usually when you're playing Kojo, I think the deck that I run, the majority of cards I run are 2 cost and lower. So I would feel pretty comfortable if I didn't plan on playing that Tooth Fairy, that I would run into a 2 cost or lower card if I hit the resupply that I felt like could go over the top of that Haven Bouncer, regardless of the situation, and I'd still maintain my lead and going into a Buddha turn on the following day. But again, I don't know what the deck list situation is like for Vent. Maybe they don't feel as confident, but they do,
That's the way to
and
go. Look at him. You called it. Yep.
yeah, and they do
Yep.
hit a Pathfinder, which will be enough. We'll have to see if Runefolk has anything left here with 1 mana. And it doesn't look like he does, but
Nope.
yeah, I mean, past that, I don't. What kind of decks do you typically run, Geo, and things that you're
I
using?
run nothing but big freaking numbers, man. Kojo and stupid numbers that move the little pieces forward. That's what I like doing. I really
Nice.
like Kojo decks, man. Yeah. Mighty Jin is the way to go. If you don't run that in your deck, I think you're inferior. No, of course not. No. I just really like the fact that it gives you like really give and pull and annoying options for your opponent. Yeah. I
Yeah.
like Kojo so much. I used to be nothing but Ordis, but yeah. Now I was playing the Pathfinder on yep, and taking a side for a side, but still in the lead. Up by 2, I believe, yep, or by 1. 1, yep.
Yeah, 1 spot on the tumult here. We do have Runefolk on the Atsade 1 mana ahead at this point. Probably wishes that he'd have a little bit more ramp, to be able to play a little bit more on top of this Kojo, especially coming into the closer to the end of this game where Kojo could realistically end it with a quick 2-0, especially on a Buddha turn. We'll have to see if they have anything else that could potentially resupply or throw some stuff in the reserve to benefit off of those havens and get some more boosts. But we do have hand advantage for Runefolk on the Etsadi, so they definitely could pull something out here and prevent the game
Like
from ending.
double and a mana advantage as well.
Mhm.
They got more stuff to play around with.
Yeah, we do have Kojo starting off with pretty much a pseudo after you playing that Tooth Fairy for 1 cost, and we will have
My
Yeah,
favorite. I really like Bravos.
yeah.
Tracer.
You like
Really
the
like playing
Tracer?
that card.
Nice.
I really like that card, especially the rare. I play the rare, and every time I have it here, I'm gonna play it, even though it's just wrong. I just really like playing it. So fun.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
do prefer the rare over the common then?
Yeah, yeah. I think I have 2 rares and, 1 common or vice. Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
I like to run it like that. It gives me, options. Of course, some people are just purists, right? If you have 3, you're gonna have 3 of a kind, but
yeah.
yeah, no, it doesn't work for me. What do you play,
Gotcha.
Blue?
When I'm playing Bravos, I actually do run 2 tracers, in the common version, mostly because I have a unique where I feel like I can utilize them pretty well, and that it can just remove the fleeting on them and just send them to reserve as well as give them a boost. It's basically a unique that uses helping hand anytime a character joins the expeditions. So
Nice.
I like
Those
running that.
are so game changing. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
continue. Sorry for
Yeah, no, it's just I like that. But yeah, overall though, I actually do prefer the retail
Here's a nut.
art of the Bravos Tracer that we see here, opposed to the Kickstarter art on occasion. But we
Oh,
do
no,
see
the Kickstarter art is terrible, but Shane Long has played big numbers on the other side. Yeah, Kojo trying to secure it and just, yeah. Who is it? Room folk? Yeah, not having it. Yeah, and the rare version at that, like, shoot. I really like seeing big numbers played up there. You're making me get all giddy. Yes, Jing Lung is out there, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You
Yeah.
rarely, I rarely get to see these played. Yeah, nice stuff.
Yeah,
Hunting it up, go for it.
yeah, it definitely is a solid statted character. It seems like Runefolk knew that the one-sided attack was gonna happen there, and with only an intimidation in hand, that's not gonna be able to hit that Shenlong. Only gonna be
Get
able
rid
to
of his
stop
tracer, but
Yeah, only gonna be able to
yeah,
stop the one side unless they're gonna return their own card, which they definitely could if they so choose to potentially even bring up the
a
Tooth
unique.
Fairy. Yeah,
Yes, yes, that's what I would do
or
immediately.
even
Well,
or even the
he would
Haven.
sacrifice both sides, so if he does that. He would sacrifice both sides, and he'd be down by one, and not have the Buddha on the other side, right?
Yeah. So it
Oh,
looks like
yep,
he is
he
gonna go
took the
for the
tracer.
tracer.
Yep,
Um, yeah,
but he
the
still
tooth
lets him pass on one side. Yeah.
yeah, the tooth fairy might not have been a bad play. Hitting your own haven to potentially get another resupply might not be a bad play, but instead
Hmm.
opting to not allow that double advance that you mentioned. Um,
Yeah.
but a lot of cards in hand for Rune Folk, so looking pretty good, especially on a non-Buddha turn. You said you do like to play Kojo. If you're in this situation, how are you feeling?
I would have felt very. I don't know. I would have regretted not getting rid of the Shan, knowing that I could get rid of that Shan Lung. I would
Oh,
have returned the fairy. I know that he's already, connected, basically, touching. So I would have just gotten rid of that because that scares me. Seeing those numbers, that scares me. It would have
mhm,
intimidated me immediately. Like, you got me. Psychological warfare. It works. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I think Runefolk I mean, the sabotage would have been nice, but maybe the Kojo is thinking along the lines of Runefolk would still be able to play the Shinlong being the first player right away, and they wouldn't be able to deal with it from that aspect. But who knows? We'd have to see how things turn out here. At this point, the only thing that could realistically deal with the Shinlong would be some type of mana eruption, and it will, if
Exactly.
they have the rare, will cost 3, and if it's just the common, will cost 4, and it does seem like Runefolk's gonna do a little bit of slow play, not gonna start off with that Shenlong, and instead opting for the Haven Bouncer, on the companion side.
Just teasing it. I mean, it's still in the back. Still in the back pocket, right? You still got enough for it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, still here, still a threat. What? Oh, and of course, why not?
Yeah.
Luck of the draw.
Yeah, and we do still have a lot of
Yeah.
cards in hand, so the fact that Runefolk didn't play it from the reserve makes me think that he still has plenty of other options, including that Tracer
Like,
that got sent back to hand.
Brava. Of course, of course.
So it does seem like Runefolk will probably try to close things out here on this particular day if they can get that 2-0. We'll have to deal with that Haven Warrior that's going to come from reserve at some point, I have to imagine, especially with all the boosts from the.
I run a rare of that one in mine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you go for the
the
straight
Haven
fours
Warrior.
across the board.
Yep, it's so helpful, especially if it comes on day one. Hey, it's just like securing a side.
Yeah.
Yeah, just boom, like
Yep.
to play, and it's got that other ability, right? The next character gains a boost or two. I
Yeah,
forget
from
what's
the
the boost.
support
Yeah.
ability. Yeah. So I think
Yes.
the main thing though that the coach is probably worried about is that if he gets hit with an intimidation, on that Haven Warrior. Can't play it again and will only have 1 mana left. But instead, it looks like we'll
Becomes a.
see a Fire Rabbit.
That's also a really nice one. I like to play.
Yeah. Still 3 mana left too for Rune Folk, so could definitely close things out here with a
Yeah, he's
2-0.
closing it. Yep,
And we get a
and it's
unique
unique.
Lady of the Lake, which,
Says goodbye to something or boosts. Here we go, and Mr. Roomfolk. Looks like you're taking it.
yeah, a lot of abilities there. You may discard one of your mana orbs. If you do, up to 2 target characters each gain 2 boosts. If you control 2 or more boosted characters, up to 2 target characters each gain 1 boost. So just boosted up everything, able to close things out there and get the victory on its Saudi, making their way to get another top finish with another lower tier hero if possible. But we'll go ahead and head back to the pairings so we can see what else that we have to take a look here at the first round. All right. Only 2 games left being played here in
Oh
the first
shoot.
round. So let's go ahead and take a look at table 1 then.
Oh shoot. I'm so disappointed. This is this is awful.
What's that?
Potato did not participate. He skipped the game. I was so rooting for that person. I don't know if it's he or she.
Uh,
Horrible player, but always consistent. Like, I was so rooting for that guy or person. Dang it, Jose don't always hurts to see flakers. But maybe he had something important in his life, right? Can't change
yeah.
that.
What can you do?
Yeah.
Um Let's see. All right, so we are in table 1 game here where we have a Sigismar versus a Finn in Crowbar.
Oh, a unique. At
Rune
dusk,
Rune
you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, up to one target character unit fleeting. At dusk, you may return a card other than me from reserve to your hand. As a support ability, create an Ordis token, the whole shebang. You create a 1/1/1. Yeah. Cute.
Indeed. It's,
Uh,
definitely a solid card. We also have that unique Alice right next to it where you can put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, you may discard a target character with hand cost 3 or less. So that's also a nice little setup there to get some removal going. We are dead even on the Tumult, and we'll see the Finn slow play a little bit here, just playing the magical training.
I would. Why not, right? Did they pass?
Indeed, only 2 cards left for the Sigismar who just decides to pass at this
Oh,
point.
okay.
So we may be
Um,
looking at things just being ending here shortly if there's enough
is that
for they do.
yep. Benji, is that true? Horrible draw, he says. Good game, terrible draw the last round.
I gotcha.
And it looks like it is. Sorry for that, Benji. Looks like Ezekiel's horrible German thing are taking it in both of these games. Yeah.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
We do have
Bravo, man.
the Finn and Crowbar take the victory there, so we should be pretty close to the end of this first round here. Quite quick already, and we'll take a quick look here at the chat.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah. We're in round two.
Simon, indeed. I don't Cole
Oh,
are
Cole's playing.
yeah. Cole, are you a
Yeah.
pick me? I think Cole might be a pick me. I'll see that. But yeah, saddest person in the world right now, but I'll always root for you. Gotcha. But, yeah, let's
Nice
go ahead
person.
and switch, to the next game here. Um, Cole did in fact win the his first round, so we'll, but he's playing one of the players that we already saw play, so I'm not gonna switch to him quite yet. We'll see what else that we have
Right.
here. Let's take a look at let's go to table 7, why not? We have
Who's it? Yeah. Oh,
K
the onion.
versus
Yay.
versus Xyrus Onion?
Onions.
Onions? Multiple onions?
I'm I'm gonna go with what you said. Sounds classier and well said. Right?
We'll take it, but they are waiting to choose their mana, it looks like here, and we'll see how that goes, but, we're not quite sure what either of these players are playing as far as their heroes. Any particular hero that you've been working on, Geo, in the last, for this season, or you've just been focusing all your stuff on, Bravos these days?
Bravos, a bunch of Bravos. No, and I've been playing around with the print on demand stuff. God, that,
Mm,
that thing is so convenient and so nice. They made it like pretty good so far. I've had no problem with it. Yeah, but just making Bravos decks, Basir deck and Tojo deck, and I tried to make an Asadi deck, but I am just dumb for that. Like big numbers scare me because I never pull them apparently, and I
yeah,
never make them work. No, no, she couldn't do it. Ordis was before that, Axiom was before that, and Lyra was before that. I
nice.
never touched um what we're seeing right here. Afanis, like the Ysmir heroes. No, I haven't touched those. They intimidate me way too much. They're way too complicated. Big brain stuff for you guys. Smooth brain stuff over here.
You
Yeah.
gotta. Um, yeah, hello, John Smith. Thanks for joining us in the chat there. And hello to everyone else that has joined us thus far. You are watching the AWOL Weekly number 13 for Wednesday. We are jumping in here on our first round 2 of the Swiss matchup with an Aphanis versus a Renin Orchid.
Of course. Of course. Why not? Why not? Just bring the K-pop dancer in. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, always a good start if you can get that in your opening hand, especially when you
I
can play it from the
don't blame
reserve.
him.
But,
And yeah,
Cernanos is
big
also
numbers.
yeah, a big statted boy, and even with the magical
Yeah,
training, that,
yeah. No.
mage dancer won't be able to go over the top of him,
Big numbers scare you. Yes. We move forward.
and that will
No, I'm ready.
activate the Rin and Orchid ability.
Just draw a card and resupply, right? Put one in reserve, is it?
Yep,
For any
yeah,
events occur?
yeah, you can draw
Yeah.
1 card and then you put it into your reserve if anyone is unaware, but you have to win on a forest terrain in order to do it, and so we will see that draw happening here before the characters head to the reserve, and we'll see what they decided to put down there, and it looks like we're just gonna get a rare Icebound Taiga thrown down, and
Why not? Ooh,
one interesting thing I did notice from this Afanis deck list was that they were actually running 40 cards plus a hero. So that's 41 cards and not the traditional 39 plus a hero.
39. Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. What do you think? Ooh, those. It's interesting. If this Kai wins, I'm sending him a message. What are those two cards that are so important that you don't want to get rid of? Yeah, because
Yeah.
are they common versions of like magical training, I guess, or the common version of K-pop?
Yeah, I don't know. At this point, um, yeah, he can't go on 39cards.com. That's right, John Smith. He'll have to go on 40cards.com if they decide to get top 16. So that's unfortunate for the Afanis. We'll have to make an entirely separate website for them to be able to get their deck lists. But we
you,
will,
you guys are changing stuff. Come on, Aponis, guys, stop it. It's
yeah.
getting too meta.
It is
I'm just kidding. You
interesting.
can't hate on those players.
Yeah, it is interesting though because it's one of those things where I don't feel like there's enough cards within Altered at the moment to justify going over the minimum. But I'd honestly be like to see the idea of someone just making a deck that is based off entirely having more than the minimum. But we'll
Who
see.
was
Yeah,
this one? There was a one player that was doing this. He was doing okay, but I guess just didn't work out after the booster pack, the second boosters.
yeah,
Um, he was playing with 80 cards in his deck. He had an Ortis deck and he was using 80.
yeah.
So,
I remember
okay,
what you're talking about.
I
But
lost. I lost to that guy. Like
yeah.
whoever you are out there, hey, kudos to you. Yeah, man, it worked out for you.
Yeah, it would be interesting, but we do see a beauty sleep coming out here, opting to use that to get boosts on the mage dancer while giving up and it not being able to advance, but they will be able to draw because they do hit that 3 boost mark at dusk with the rare mage dancer.
A heavy stat there, so that that Sonorus doesn't look like that much of a threat. Yeah.
Yeah, we did get the Icebound Taiga down there for the Rin and Orchid that previous day, so they are only 2 counters away, placed on a forest terrain in
And of
order to
course,
get something. So,
get rid of the heavy number guy. Why not?
yeah, I was curious to see where that beauty sleep was going to go last turn. Interesting that we saw it go on the dancer just to keep it out there and not get any advances at this point. But yeah, Tooth Fairy does come out, like you mentioned there, knocking out that Cernanos. So should be interesting to see if the Ren and Orchid player has any other stats to throw out there other than the Moon Caregiver, which I have to imagine is used entirely to get the anchoring done.
There it is. The Persephone.
So we do
Yeah.
have a Persephone come out, and with that, that means all we need is one more character to be played on the companion side, and we will see a dragon, but
No way. Just dang
double
it.
sabotage coming out here.
Well, now there's less options unless you got unless the Faunus player has Spycraft. Now there's a lot less options for sabotaging. You
Yeah.
have two in a row. Like really do not want anything to come out.
Yeah, and we will see that third character come out here to hit the 3 counters. We'll get a
High
dragon
up.
that's played on the hero side. There is still 1 mana left here for the Afanis, but does not have the card needed to get the boosts for the dancer. And we will just see a 1 for O with the Rin and Orchid actually taking a pretty significant lead, but the Afanis does have a large amount of cards in their hand to work with.
That's so dangerous, man. It's like giving Marines a bunch of just heavy ammo and telling them shoot at. The Faunus players just with hands like that just scare me. Dang it. And he's gonna get another one. Dude,
Indeed.
good job. Good job.
Yeah. Relay is asking if AWOL is okay in the chat. Are you beating him down that bad in your guys' game that we're not watching? Don't be mean.
Oh shoot, what's happened to Nicole?
I don't know.
Hey,
He's
don't.
getting asked if he's okay, but well, we could take a look at it later. Either way, we'll take a look at this game right now.
Yeah.
Once again, want to thank everyone that has joined us thus far in the chat. Um, you are
Oh
watching.
yeah. Hi to everybody in the chat.
Yeah,
Sorry for interrupting, man.
we are watching the AWOL weekly number 13 here on Wednesday. Um, quite near the end of the season. If anyone hasn't joined thus far, make sure to get your top placement so that way you can get into the invitational. That should be a good time. But in the meantime, here we will see that Persephone come back out.
I like seeing Persephone played on a ring. Just makes sense. Just just the card for a ring. Yeah.
Indeed, it does get challenged here with rare Baba Yaga, so the forest stats are all tied up, but they do still have that dragon hanging out, and we will see.
And it's gonna get anchored. Oh
Yeah,
no. Yeah, yeah.
the aloe vera will get anchored here, but it will get hit immediately with that off you go. And with the boost coming from the spell, it looks like we'll go back to a 1 for 1, but, Ren and Orchid's still able to maintain the advantage here, and with a forest advance, we will see another activation of the hero ability.
Did you get the forest event?
Should, I believe, or were they
No.
on the other side?
No, they were
No,
tied because they got the buff, right? It was 4, yeah.
yep. So they moved on to a forest on the hero side here, and we'll have the option to be able to play
Oh,
that
yeah,
aloe
yeah, yeah.
vera, but, won't be as good in the existing spots because they do not have any water terrain for the time. Relay is going vegan for the day. It's interesting. I'm vegan, except I eat beef and chicken and fish.
Wait, wait.
But otherwise, I'm vegan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're the same kind of vegans then. I thought I was alone.
Yeah,
Thank God. I
we
know
do.
there's more of us.
I'm a
I'm not
vegan.
that weird.
Yeah, I'm a vegan that eats meat. We do exist. Um,
We're out there. There's more of
but we
All
do.
right, and just like vegans comes out Muna Druid, right?
I guess so. I'm not. I'm not quite sure. Cool art
He looks
though.
vegan enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess if anybody is at like 100% vegan, he would look like this. And what do you do? Do you put him to sleep? Do you put the other Baba Yaga?
Well, it's interesting at this point because although the Afanis does have a lot of cards in hand and is beating as far as like card advantage over the Rin, they are quite far behind against the Rin and Orchid. So I'll be interested to see if the Rin is going to start piling up on one expedition just to go 1 for 1 a lot in order to just get as close as possible. I'm not entirely sure if this is just a regular tempo Rin or if they are running something like a Lyra Festival potentially, but should be interesting to see what they have going here. They did end up using the ability on that aloe vera, so they could get hit with another off you go here, but it does not look like the
Got it.
Afanis has it.
Yep. So another 1 for 1. Taking
Indeed.
it like significant. Like what is it? One, two, three sticks forward, barely moving off the first stages. Dang. Ugh. If there's a comeback here, it just shows you how dangerous opponents players can be, right? Because those resources that he's saving up is they gotta be worth something. Like he's got danger back there. Yeah.
Yeah, the uh that's correct. Tase, what Cole said. What is it called when you only eat fast food? It's called being an American. So
Oh yeah, yeah. That's why I can't say I'm that American, kind of American. I only eat Wendy's.
only Wendy's. It's fresh, never frozen, so it's healthy, right?
That's why. And
Yeah.
their Twitter is just hilarious. They're stupid. But, yeah, I decided to try it out because of that, and just years ago, and yeah, can't get it. The $5 baggies are the best.
There you
But
go.
as I'm salivating with Inward, they're gonna play another K-pop dancer.
Yeah,
All right.
luckily enough for the Vera, though, on that side. They went from that mountain terrain to the individual water terrain, so if they are gonna contest, that's a good spot to do it, overall, and now that
Ooh,
they are able to make it
gonna be
forest as well with the magic beans, we will see them get even more boosts through the use of the Saskia.
that would suck right now, and off you go.
Always a possibility. Um, do do you do people
Ooh,
talking about Subway, people get the Italian bread? I usually get the Parmesan bread.
I get whatever bread looks weirdest. That's the bread I get because I'm never gonna buy it. So if you're gonna prepare it for me and I'm paying, and just get whatever looks weirder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We will
whatever has
see
the
a lot of
spices
boosts
like
coming
that.
out here for
Puffs.
the Faunus. Yeah, Italian urban cheese. There you go. Thanks,
Oh,
Vitesse. That's the one I was
and then
looking for. Parmesan's,
that that
which
sounds like something I would eat. Yeah.
that's
Uh,
that's a different place. That's Jimmy John's, I think. I'm not sure. Either way, we will see a helping hand come out, and then that should be enough to get some boosts on the board to potentially block one side. But it looks like they're focusing on splitting the boosts here for some reason.
yeah.
So it will get enough to advance, but it won't be enough to block yet. And so curious use of the helping
Exactly.
hand
Onion.
there.
What? Yeah. Onion's even like curious of what happened. Yeah.
But
That first boost should have gone to Baba Yaga immediately. Yeah.
yeah,
Probably mistakes were made. We aren't always on 100% on game day.
yeah,
Yeah.
can only do your best so much. All it came down to was the Rin and Orchid just got too far ahead. So unfortunate there. But
Heavy.
we will go ahead and head back and see what other games we have left here in round two of the Swiss. Everyone that is watching, thank you for joining. You are watching the AWOL Season 2 Wednesday Weekly, number 13. We are currently in the second round of the Swiss that we have scheduled here today. Plenty of games left to take a look at. Any one that you want to watch in particular?
You want to finish seeing Coles?
Sure. If you're still going there, we could
It's
take a look
still,
at there.
yeah, he's still going just to tease a bit. Why not? See what he's doing.
Table 6, Cole Robbie versus Vint
Oh shit!
on the setup here. Not looking ideal for
Oh
him at the moment.
no! But we got a unique out. If I'm the only character in my expedition, you may return target character or permanent with hand cost of 5 or less to its owner's hand. When another character joins my expedition, sacrifice a character. All right.
Yeah, a lot of text on that
And you
Amarok.
gain the boon.
Yeah.
It gains a boost. I gain a boost, and then from reserve, you may discard a card from your reserve. If you do sabotage, otherwise, you may exhaust target reserve. Still pretty good.
Yeah, solid card
Okay.
overall.
Yeah.
But we do see Cole just throw out a card there to try to block out the companion zone. Still plenty of mana for both players. And we will see the snowman come out. And since it's in the water terrain, it will not gain fleeting. And it's a solid chunk of stats there for the rare snowman out of faction. I actually like running that
Oh,
one a lot in my Kojo decks as well.
I'm gonna have to try that out. I'm gonna mix it up because the snowman does look fun to play. Like those stats are so heavy.
Yeah.
And we see a unique Esmeralda join in. You want to read that one, Blue?
Yeah, sure. We got the unique Esmeralda that from hand resupplies. And then when I gain one or more boosts, if you control one or more landmarks, up to one target character with hand cost 3 or less, other than me, gains anchored. So it is a
It
one of
happened
the
and it's done.
yeah,
It
it should be nice
one of the
if it didn't have that landmark restriction, but it's always doable with Muna, especially if you're in the spindle.
yeah.
But yeah, as you mentioned, not quite enough stats there for Cole, and we're looking at a victory here for the Kojo player in Vint. And
Nice
yeah, but
hustle, Cole, but looks like Vince got you in this one.
yeah, and yeah, Batasi Rin is solid. I think we saw Rin like a tempo mid-range Rin do well earlier on in season one as well, without the festival. I do like the festival Rin though as well, but either
In
way,
in Ren in a Ren deck.
yeah, there's like a
Ooh,
tempo Rin that you can make work that doesn't have festival, but either way, we'll see what we have left here. I think we only have one or two games left between the top two tables here. Let's jump in on table one. since it has the lower percentage, although that does mean nothing very often in BGA. And we have another Rin with Freeloader this time versus a Lindaway and Maw deck. And it is
And
a
they've got a Pravati unique on the board. And
yeah,
it's from everything's from reserve. Target character gains anchored from played. And each player puts the top card of their deck in their mana zone.
nice.
Right?
Yeah, so and
Yeah.
it's definitely doable to get that in your reserve with the Rin hero ability, so you don't have to worry about playing it from hand either, which may have been the situation here. I don't know. We didn't take a look at it in time to see where it was played, but it was definitely played from reserve at some point because it does have fleeting. So we'll see how that goes here for Freeloader on the Rin and Orchid as we see a resupply into an
Vera.
Aloe Vera.
No, Vera. Such a great card Aloe is. I think that was a BYG or Beyond the Gates like staple, and then Persephone. Like yeah, those two cards just push all of the Luna faction just forward so well.
Yeah,
Fun cards to have.
it helps you with that card advantage when you don't have draw necessarily, and you also don't do a lot of sabotage as a
Mm.
Muna player. So if you get something that can stick on the field while resupplying, similar to what the Spindle Harvesters do in the rare slot, you're gonna want to use that.
Speaking of resupplies, that card is just so ridiculous. Resupply, then resupply.
Yeah,
Like it. Yeah, yep.
the Harvest is quite a fun card. I have seen a resurgence of that rare version of the Harvest. Normally, I think initially people were focusing on the common since it's only one from hand, but the rare Harvest definitely throws out a lot of cards and gives you some options.
Because it just makes you pay just that one more for an extra card down there. Yeah,
Yep.
especially if you need it. Why not? Yeah, can see that. Like a lot of people criticize me because I don't play the rare versions of Tiny Gin. Yeah, play the common ones.
I gotcha.
But but they've worked every now and then.
Yeah, if they work, why not, right? But,
Yep.
that's the main thing with deck testing, you gotta see what works for you and how you got different things set up. But we do have a lot of options here for Freeloader on the Rin and Orchid and what they have in reserve. I'll be curious to see if,
Bunch.
he wants to throw out that Spindle Moon Bastion at some point here, or if they're just gonna prioritize advancing, and at the moment, it looks like we're seeing a prioritization towards advancing with that Persephone coming out.
And then after you with a sacrifice, giving that mall that more buff nutrition to carry them through the Oceanica. But of course comes in aloe vera.
Yeah, we do
Give
see
you a
the
little
aloe vera
party.
come
Here,
out. It could still get hit by that off you go we see in the reserve. It will cost the rest of the mana there for the Lindaway, and the Lindaway will give up a 1-0 on this day if they decide to do that. But should be interesting to see what they end up playing here. They definitely still have some mana left over to play if they decide not to use that off you go right away.
and they want to go for resources and a land. Great. Take one.
Yeah, so it looks like they'll be going one for one here unless they play anything else with the 1 mana that they have left, which I don't think there's anything that can help them on the companion zone at this point, so we will just see a pass.
Up by one, but the Rin can take it in the next day. And you gotta get rid of something. What are we getting rid of? And
Don't
get
know
rid
what
of
he
Baba Yaga. Ooh, off you go. Okay. Probably has
yeah,
another one in hand.
yeah, it probably doesn't have any card return at this
That's just
point, so
me.
it makes sense to keep the characters. Um, we do see the Beauty Sleep go away for a freeloader on the Rin and Orchid as well, opting to keep that Harvest and the Spindle to be able to be played potentially.
Well, yeah, she's got the Rim player has the advantage of being in front, right? Even if she does advance on both, if you put that landmark in there, she's gonna make it more difficult. So yeah, she's got the opportunity to play it. Why not? I always refer to them as she as like if it's the hero playing
Yeah.
it.
No, all good. It's how you're supposed to do it, right? And you got the heroes
Right,
playing.
right.
You gotta
Yeah.
em you gotta
Sorry,
embody
freeloader.
you gotta embody the hero that you're playing at the time. make them go in and do that. But we do see a resupply hitting the Muna Caregiver, which will be nice for that aloe vera potentially if this game goes longer than the current day as far as getting something anchored right away. But we'll more than likely see some other stuff come out, and we will
Oh,
see
Ebenezer Scrooge.
the
Yes.
rare Ebenezer Scrooge, and that will make everything from reserve cost one less for both players.
So many options just opened up.
For both players too, be curious to see how the Lindaway might be able to take advantage of this. I think the Rin is obviously going to use it as an option for the harvest, so I wouldn't be surprised if it gets sabotaged right now.
I'm reading the comments over here immediately. Sabotage the landmark, but
Oh
oh
wow,
dang,
decides to
yeah,
sabotage the landmark there opposed to hitting the anchor or the harvest. Feel like you have to hit the harvest in that situation to give less cards for the Rin, but instead opts to not want to deal with the landmark instead.
probably it just gave it away that he has an off you go or some sort of removal or even a beauty sleep maybe, right?
Yeah, or maybe even a
Maybe,
boom.
yeah.
Who knows? But either
Yeah,
way,
booms. Like, I got bad memories with booms. But the chat that is opened, room folk just said, is that the Alio Rin list? What a copycat. Come on, the best artists always copy off of, other stuff. Don't hate on Freeloader that much. This yes, this is my Rin list. But
um,
it is working for him. I mean, shoot.
yeah,
Freeloader is in front.
we do see another option to be able to anchor the aloe vera as well for the freeloader. Um, but you could also just end the whole game on this day with a 2-0. So I'll be curious to see if the Lindaway player is able to come back here. Has plenty of cards in hand to be able to do it. So we'll have to wait and see what they have left.
Lindaway, Lindaway, Lindaway. Come on, Lindaway. You got this. Oh, I think it's done. That beauty sleep is just terrifying. Oh, do they stock, Mr. Blue?
We do have another Ebenezer Scrooge, so everything's going to cost two less. That's crazy.
Oh, so we can play the Moon Druid for free and still play the beauty sleep, and maybe he has something with one in hand, or what would it be? Two in hand? Dang.
Two in hand.
Yeah. Yep. So he's got options still.
It just does make the Baba Yaga play free here if the Lindaway so chooses. Maybe they're trying to wait to see if they can play that at a later time. Instead, we will see the Ortis Overseer. Oh, it can't cost less than one. Okay, well, unfortunate in general, but should be free for freeloader. But
Should be, right? Right? Yeah, it makes sense. It's not like it's costing less than and you're getting more mana or something like that, right?
yeah, and we will see the third harvest come out here for a freeloader running through everything that they have in their deck, only down to 1 card left at this point. Plenty of other cards left to play. Has
Oh,
1 mana
still
left,
can sacrifice. Yep.
so we'll see some anchoring happening here on the Ebenezer
Oh,
Scrooge to make everything cheaper, and we can still see 1 more 1 cost card being played, and it will
and
go
that has
ahead,
resupply.
yeah, go ahead and be that
Yes,
Muna Merchant.
yes. That is a very functional deck, Mr. Freeloader. Yeah.
We will see a sacrifice
And
out here to be able to block Freeloader on the companion zone, and
but he's got the mushroom. Why not?
yeah, since you're not
Keep
gonna
something on
advance,
that side.
since you're not gonna advance, you may as well just go ahead and sleep that aloe vera to get another card here, and we'll be down here probably to the final day with a lot of cards on the board for Freeloader with the Rin and Orchid, and not so much of a good scenario for the Lindaway, but with 2 Babas Isbas, there's always a possibility that they can make something happen.
That just opens so many possibilities with two two free sacrifices, just like that.
Yeah.
Getting able to get that mole up there. Yep. And shoot all the effects that can pop off. But, I mean, he's going up against an uphill battle with those Ebenezer Scrooges on both sides, man. Shoot. At least he got a
Yeah,
board wipe.
yeah, that could be the
What
scenario.
is it, Blizzard? Blizzard? Or,
Yeah, there definitely could still be
yeah.
a blizzard, and even if Freeloader is able to get a, Muna Bastion out there, Blizzard does not target, and sure enough,
What
you called it.
did I call? What did I call? Holla at your boy. Yes. That makes it so much fun. I love this game. Love this fucking yes. Woo!
Did
Good
he
job.
I'm curious as to see, what side I'm assuming he's targeting the, Ebenezer Scrooge side potentially, but I'll have to wait and see.
I would. And right?
Did the blizzard not go through?
Wait. What did it Set to reserve each character target expedition. Send to reserve each character from that Did he not choose the right target expedition? What happened?
I think he might have targeted his own expedition.
Oh,
Misclicked his own expedition potentially.
dang. This is where you don't want to mess up like that, homie. Well, it happens to the best of us every now and then, right? Now he's just going to show off.
I mean, it
Come
has
on, freeloader.
I mean, I've misclicked before, but I've never accidentally misclicked on a blizzard, but, we'll have to see how it
Yeah,
works out here for, looking like it's gonna be quite the easy time for Freeloader to take this
yeah.
game, but we'll play out here to the end to see if, the Lindaway has any life left in them at this point.
Such a, what a bad taste. What a bad taste you've left in my mouth, sir. Bad enough that you're gonna lose, but now you just leave bad taste in all of our mouths. No, I'm just kidding. I am just kidding. I hope it does work out. I hope you have another one down there or something.
Not enough mana left here at this point to be able to play another
No.
one, and there's just gonna be way too
Yeah.
many stats on the
Daughter
board.
leader cell. Yep. Here you go. Draw a card. No, no, not even, right? Because you played it from
Yep,
reserve. Yep.
so
GG, and there we go.
yeah, we will see the Ren and Orchid take the victory here over the Lindaway and Ma, and this has been the Swiss round two. I believe that'll probably be the last game we will see of this round. Thank you for everyone that's joined us thus far. This is the AWOL Season 2 Wednesday Weekly number 13. And in fact, we are going
Oh
into
shoot.
the third round of the Swiss, where we will see some folks start things out. Let's go ahead and take a look at table. Who have we not seen thus far? Seen them. Let's go table 2. Table 2.
Who is on table trois? Oh, I think I played Marquis. Mark Chicks. Yeah, I think I've played this guy before. Good player.
Yeah, we got you were able to get a lot of those harvests out, Freeloader. Were you surprised when they decided not to sabotage that harvest that one time? I was, but either way, we'll see a Sigismar versus Tasia matchup. I played a good amount of Sigismar, and I mean, I feel comfortable a lot of times in a lot of matchups, but Tasia can sometimes mess you up a little bit depending on how they're running things. Oh, you
Uh,
had an extra in hand? Okay, so it didn't matter too much, but it was still odd though, right? Like, I feel like you're gonna try to avoid the idea of
Shoot.
giving you more resources, but maybe they were really afraid of the spindle, who knows?
Oh, there
But
we
yeah,
go. Finally, get in there. All right. So we're looking at. Oh, dang it! I'm gonna cut off, and I'm gonna go and plug these in because
yeah,
they're getting
no
low.
worries.
Be right back.
Yeah, no problem. And we will start off here with a cadet into a nice tiny gen play here from the Tasia. It won't be enough to block that trooper, but we'll get advance of their own and we'll get a little bit of ramp going. The Sigmar does get the 2-1 advance, but let's see how it goes. Yeah, but it's not like people practice their Scrooge Rin matchup all that often. Yeah, they probably don't freeloader, but I mean, anytime I see someone run the harvest, I have to assume that it is a main component of their deck. And yeah, thank you, Erlea. Switching over now. But yeah, Sigismar versus a Tasia matchup. We did see the Sigismar start us off with a cadets into a trooper play, and the Tasia playing a tiny Jin, and now they're playing a second tiny Jin for some more ramp. So I gotta believe that we're more than likely gonna be seeing a Hydra Sainaba potentially for this matchup, but maybe not. Plenty of cards left to play for the Sigismar if they so choose. And they're going to go ahead and start with a unique Ratatasker, where it is one cost from hand, two costs from reserve. If you control four or more characters, resupply. And then it also has when another non token character joins your expeditions, create an Ortis recruit in your companion expedition. So, get a little bit of a token generator there with the Ratatasker that will also be able to resupply from reserve if they have enough characters. Is this a Hydra Loki Tasia? I mean, it could be. It definitely feels like it's at least a Hydra Tasia. Whether it's a Loki Tasia, I'm not quite sure yet. I'll have to wait to see if any of the uniques pop up. But in the meantime, we will see that cadets played from reserve along with that Ratatasker played initially, and then with a one cost Ortis Trooper and the token generator happening, we will see a one for one and we'll have the lead still going to the Sigismar at this point. We'll be able to go straight into a resupply with that Ratatasker if they so choose. Um, by that will also be able to do some token generation, but they will have to deal with that from reserve Daughter of Yggdrasil that has a large amount of stats for the sake of giving up a card draw to your opponent when played from hand. So we'll see how that goes. Tasia up 2 mana at this point against the Sigismar. So still feeling good despite being behind on the tumult. And we'll see if the Sigismar is still able to take advantage of the lead despite being behind on mana. At the moment, we are watching Mark versus Erlea, good old fashioned Sigismar versus Tasia matchup, we do see a unique Ortis Gatekeeper that is also a token generator of their own, and it goes into the other expedition when a non token character joins. And sure enough, we do see a bountiful meadow come out for the Tasia player, which more than likely seems that we're going to be seeing some bigger cards being played here shortly. And unfortunately, that Keylon Burst will not be helpful in taking care of those bigger cards, but it will be helpful at some point. At some point for anything three or lower, but with that amount of mana, can't really do too much to stop that Daughter of Yggdrasil. And we'll see a second one come out and with the pass, that draw doesn't matter too much, and we will see a double advance for the Tasia, starting off behind, but now ahead of the Sigismar and quite high on the mana setup. So if we did see a Hydra waiting in the wings, now could be a time that we see it played. And they'll take a moment here to decide on the mana. Once again, wants to thank everyone that has joined thus far in the chat. Lovely for everyone to just chat it up overall. Appreciate everything. How's everyone's tumult's been going thus far? Getting some wins for your specific faction in order to get Kurakami? I'll be curious to see what the final results of that are overall. I know it feels like there's definitely a lot of popularity when it comes to Sigismar. Whether they get the wins, I don't know. Feel like you have to expect a little bit of popularity for Ysmir as well. And then I think the underdog as far as a dark horse faction that could still potentially get it, is Muna actually, I think, because there is a lot of Tasia likers/lovers out there without sounding weird. Despite Tasia not always being the best, but, people just like it. But we'll see how this rest of this game goes here. I think both players have mana. And we'll see if Ralea is able to throw out a big character or if they're going to try to wait it out a little bit. Oh, you've heard more about more Bravo wins than Yuzuru Muna. That's interesting, cool. Feel like, it's a possibility, but, like, it feels like as far as, like, the popularity of factions, I was just going based off of that opposed to actual wins. It feels like Ysmir and, Ortis are definitely up there in popularity. I feel like Muna is also pretty up there in popularity. I don't feel like Bravos is as popular of a faction, but I could be wrong. Definitely don't think, Lyra and Axiom are up there as far as popularity, as far as just players playing the setups of the heroes, but who knows? I did decide to play a little bit of Axiom and other Tumult events than the first one, which was fine. It's not amazing, but I think Sierra is probably one of my favorite, like, lower tier heroes to be able to play. We do see that Sigismar decide to throw an attorney out here on the hero side, um, opting to try to get enough stats to advance, opposed to playing it on the companion side and trying to get card draw. But with that contention, we will see the Dracana come out for the Tasia, and that'll get immediately responded to with a Keylon burst from the Sigismar. Question is, are they going to hit the anchored character? And they decide to hit the anchored character, opposed to trying to stop that daughter of Yggdrasil that was on the other side. But with that, we can just see it go straight back out, and it's not going to matter as far as what we have going on here. And Tasia will maintain the lead on the tumult as we go into the next day with something on the board. Sigismar still has that token generator of a gatekeeper in the reserve to be able to be played. It does cost 3 from the reserve though, so it does not gain any additional benefit for that. It's one of those situations where the unique has some variability on hand to reserve. Would have been nice, I'm sure, if they had one that was a 2/2, which is definitely possible. Pretty sure I have a gatekeeper that is a token generator that is in fact 2/2, but maybe I'm thinking of something else. Either way, um, we will get the at noon boost there for the Dracana, and not looking ideal for the Sigismar. They could have some removal though, which could be really helpful. And the one thing that they can bet on at this moment with Tasia is that they only have 3 cards in their hand, so they can play a game of seeing what they have left before playing themselves. But they are going to opt to play
Can you hear me?
with a unique gatekeeper. Yes, I can hear you. We're
There we go.
watching some of this game here between the Sigismar and the Tasia. Tasia is up at the moment, but Sigismar does have a unique on the board. And speaking of
And
unique,
another unique pops up. Yay!
yeah,
Go for it.
we get a Lord Kelvin, which we do not see a lot of, and it's when a character you control gains 1 or more boosts. If your reserve is empty, you may exhaust target card in reserve, which they did do, and you may return target character or permanent to the top of its owner's deck. So it's just
Oh,
a
it's out of the hand. Yay! That's a good one. Yeah, I
yes.
like it.
So it's just
Yeah.
a little fun card that does some interaction to your opponent and can really mess them up potentially. Um,
And of
and
course, we have a Foundry Mechanic, the rare version.
Yep, and we'll have one more play, it looks like here for the Tasia, deciding to tap that Bountiful Meadow and leaving open for 4 costs, but instead, it's just gonna be a 3 cost with that Daughter of Yggdrasil, leaving 1 mana left if they run into something that they can
Those are
play.
some heavy numbers. Those are heavy numbers. I don't see them stuff. Well,
He's
yeah,
gonna
with
have
3 costs. Yeah, he's yeah, you're right. He's gonna have to stop one.
Yeah, I think the best option here is definitely some type of removal, but it may also not matter in the sense of we are still looking at 1 mana left for the Tasia that could still be running a Beauty Sleep potentially,
True.
and we will
Okay.
s yeah, we do get, that out there. It won't be enough to block, and a Rallying Call will get thrown out there to get that block on the hero side, and that'll be enough to prevent the win from the Tasia, but the Tasia will still get the 1-0 advance.
And be left with a bunch more resources. He's got to get rid of 2 cards from that reserve, fortunately. Yep.
Indeed.
Well, not a bunch more. You're right. They'll be at the same resources except behind 2 lands. Yeah. Well, no, the sabotage did it.
Yeah, still gets hit with the sabotage, but fairly even as far as cards available to both the Sigmar and the Tasia. Tasia does still have the Bountiful Meadow in play to reduce costs, so they may even decide not to mana here to keep the cards in hand. We'll have to see if that's the case. Or they could just be
That's
throwing
a bunch of mana too.
yeah, or they
Yeah.
could just throw something else big out there. I mean, if they have that one Lord Calvin at 6 costs, I have to imagine they have some other cards that might be quite big that, will be difficult for the Sigismar to deal with, especially if they aren't running something like a Sticky Note Seals, which I know some Sigismars have been taking out of their decks.
I don't know why I keep it. I always keep one in there. My Sigmar deck because
Yeah.
why wouldn't you just yeah like
Yeah,
the
I
what do you do if they do have something that you can't remove? You're
yeah,
you're just
that's
stuck there.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I've been in that one. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's the nature of Altered as a whole, though, without like side decking or mulligans, is that you can try to prepare for everything, but sometimes you have to just cut out that middleman and hope that they aren't running certain things, or you can beat them before it becomes a problem. But at the moment, we will see the Tasia decide to mana, so they'll go up to 10 mana, 3 cards in hand, 1 card in reserve, and so will the Sigismar with only being at 8 mana at this point. So just one more advance and the Tasia can take this, and they're gonna go ahead and start off strong with the Bountiful Meadow play into a Daughter of Yggdrasil. And that'll put a good amount of stats on the board for them, and we'll see if we get we get another card from the Sigismar, which is that the same token generator? Did I miss something? It looks
When
exactly the same.
another non-token joins the expedition, yeah, is it?
Yeah, it is. It
No.
got returned to hand.
Yep.
Um, so I got confused there for a second. I thought it was a different one, but it is in fact not. Um, we do get the token generator, and it goes to the other expedition. And throwing it out there to try to block off that Daughter of Yggdrasil, which they're still going to need a lot of stats in order to do that, especially if they decide to stack. And we're going to go straight
Oh,
with the removal from the Tasia player, not even allowing them
and
to
it
take
should
advantage.
be.
Yeah,
Yep.
not allowing them to take advantage of that, token generation, but we will see the next unique come out here in the Amelia Earhart, which is also a token generator. If you have
Why
4
not?
or more
Yep.
characters and it creates 2 Ortis recruits in my expedition.
Okay. But there he is. Tiny Jin.
Yeah.
Playing it a lot like a Bravo stick. Nice.
So with that 3rd character out, we won't see the token generation happening quite yet. The next card will be able to produce some more tokens for the Sigismar. Only 1 card left for the Tasia player. We'll see if they have enough stats to have to deal with whatever the Sigismar is going to play from hand potentially. If they have 2/1 costs, that could be a problem. But it
Asia just
looks
lets
like
him draw a card.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna let him take a go ahead and draw a card and throw a Kitsune out there. So at this
And
point,
I think that yeah, they're taking it. I don't think there's gonna be enough to block on both sides.
yeah, they'll be able to advance here, but doesn't look like they'll be able to block without playing another character. And the rallying call will be enough to block on the hero side, but not on the companion side, and that will be a victory for the Tasia
Close.
player, who was able to ramp up despite going down early and take the game.
Yeah, that was a good game. The fun one.
So we'll switch off here. Once again, want to thank everyone that has joined us thus far. You are watching the AWOL Wednesday Weekly number 13. We are currently in the Swiss round 3 still, I believe. We'll see how much more we have left. Nope, we're into the Swiss round 4 after that matchup. So
Nice.
we'll see what we
Dancing smoothly.
we'll get some other games going here and take a look at what we have left. Why
Brother,
not throw out table 2 at this point? I don't think we've seen either of them play on
I think we
this.
did see Mal. Didn't we see Mal?
I don't
Mal
remember.
was playing I'll tell you right now. Where was he at? Oh yeah, he was in table two, but just so you know,
Okay,
he was
so
on. Yeah, he was and on the second. Yeah, he was the first.
okay,
And we saw him up against Freeloader.
let's take a look at table 6 then. I don't believe we saw Alphabet Soup or Sarcasm play. Both
Nope.
top tier names too, so we'll, see what they have going here as we wait for the game art to load. We'll jump into the game as soon as possible.
What's the deck that you like, but that like like you wish you'd like? You wish you played well or something.
I wish, Akesha was better than it is currently. I think you can still make it work, but, it's one of my favorite heroes as far as, like, the art and everything, but still not quite as good as something like an Aphonus, right? But, that's a hero I wish was a little bit better, but doesn't always happen. But we will get to see a Finn and Crowbar versus a Sierra being played here, so that's fun.
These are fun. Yeah, these are very fun.
We'll start off with a one for one here, and interestingly, we do see the Will-O-Wisp being played from the Finn, and some setup here for the Sierra with the Axiom Salvager.
Get that resupply in a bit.
Table 3 bound to be goaded, Cole? Okay. Who's on table 3? If it's you, I don't believe you.
It's like he's just hyping himself, man.
Yeah. We will see a unique
Ooh,
Baku get resupplied off of that, and it has from
why
anywhere,
not?
target opponent discards a card from their hand. When you create a token, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, up to one target character gains fleeting. So a lot of interaction going on. And, okay, so it's Elwiwi versus Runefolk.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably good, but we've already seen Runefolk play for today, so we might take a look at that after this. We'll take a look later potentially, but, we do see that, Keylonic
magical
He
training being
yeah,
played.
yeah,
Yeah.
Magical Training and Keylonic Heater being played by the Sierra in order to get the tap on the Brass Bug, and we will get the Magical Training returned to play another Magical Training.
Ah, of course. Why not? I do that.
Will be another one for one for both players. The Finn player opting to draw as much as possible in order to deal with things, and we will have the potential for a discard from the Sierra player with that unique, but probably not going to matter as much with the amount of cards that the Finn has in hand. Probably
Yeah.
would be cool if they were able to get them down on cards, but not likely the situation at the moment. But they could potentially use it for that secondary effect that gives cards fleeting if they so choose.
It's like decks that specialize in sabotage or something like that. I find them very difficult unless you got them right. I find them very difficult to work up against a friend because it's just like using a water gun to put off a whole building on fire. That's how I see it. But
Mhm.
like there's just too many options for Fed. Yeah,
We
for
will
no
see
cost basically. Yeah.
we saw see that magical training go back in hand for the Finn again, with that Nyala being played, throwing down a Twinkle Twinkle, and since we did see that sleight of hand, we could definitely see some other cards returned at some point, and a lot of cost reduction between that Martingale and Twinkle Twinkle. But instead, we'll get hit by that Nilum Withered Tree with the tap of the Sierra. We'll also get a Brass Bug, and the Wither Tree will hit the Twinkle Twinkle at this point and gonna stack up on one side.
Yeah. Not not wanting to bother the other side, I guess. Not well, not having enough stats either, right? Why bother? Just stack it up on one side, of course.
Yeah, probably trying to just guarantee the one for one, and with that, the Finn's not gonna even play anything else and is fine with the one for themselves, and we will see the Sierra take that companion side, which will send that gear of the Keylonic Heater to the reserve. Will be a good activator for the hero ability coming up, especially paying only 1 mana for it. We'll have to see if that is the first thing that they play here, get the Brass Bug out right away. Surprised that they decided not to potentially keep that mechanical training in order to exhaust cards in the thin player's reserve, but, instead opting to keep that unique that they've had in the reserve for quite a while now.
Hoping that Tooth Fairy doesn't what is it? The Tinkerbell doesn't pop out, right?
Right.
Those are there, the rare versions too. But of course playing that landmark in there to get that brass bug out.
Yep, easy one cost brass bug, and we will just see some slow play of their own with the martingale. Finally, get to see that unique being played. We'll see Finn discard a card here momentarily, and I don't think we'll be able to see. Oh, there could still be a mechanical training potentially that'll activate the Nilum to exhaust something and get a token out that could cause something to be fleeting for the Baku secondary effect, but we'll have to see if the Finn even plays a character at this point because they definitely could slow play. And instead, they're just going to cloth cocoon that Nilum, I have to imagine. Indeed, they do. So we will not see any moths coming out this day. And we'll just see the Sierra pass and wait for a unique Flamel coming out here. When you play another character with base statistics of 0, you may return a spell from your reserve to your hand. I think you're muted, Gio. There you go.
Be right
Yeah.
back. Be
Yep.
right back. I think the missus is calling me now. I gotta go put the baby to sleep. Right.
Yeah, no worries. So we do see a fun little unique there with the Flamel. Does also have a support ability of the next character you play this turn gains 1 boost. And we will get a resupply into a Magping Hoarder, which will also be a pretty good play here for the Finn right away with having 2 cards in reserve. And we will see that come out immediately. A nice 3/3/3 for 2 costs. And we will see that second Nilum Withered Tree come out for the Sierra player, opting to probably hit that, Flamel, I have to imagine, unless they are afraid of getting fleeting on by that acapella training. Um, we'll start off with just throwing out the brass bug, going to hit that Flamel like I mentioned, and then moth it up. I assume going to go for that 1 for 1 once again here, but, not entirely sure. We'll wait to see where they decide to play the moth. Alphabet Soup waiting on the moth, and it will be on the companion side, as I mentioned, going for the 1 for 1. Magical training being played that we've seen played multiple times at this point for the Finn player. Definitely have some options here to return that, I'd have to imagine. And we will see a resupply with the frozen delivery, which is also quite good with the Nilum Withered Tree, allowing for an exhaust to happen even without exhausting a card from your opponent's side and just having a nice little one cost exhaust. Obviously, we do have the Nilum tree already used as far as the exhaust, so no more moth at this point, but could be something that we see in the future. And we do see a rare hooked in the reserve for the Sierra player as well. Might come in, might come to be a factor here, but in the meantime, we will just see that 1 for 1 trade once again with the Sierra taking the companion side and the Finn taking the hero side. Then we'll have to knock down a card in order to reduce the size of the reserve, and the Sierra will hang on to both of theirs, and I'm sure we'll likely see that frozen delivery being played right away, especially at 1 cost, and start getting things out there and getting ready. Still a card advantage for the Finn player. Sierra has to be fine with the 1 for 1s for now and seeing if they can make anything come of it. Definitely can utilize at least the hooked one time, although they won't be able to have that surprise factory sometimes that factory factor uh, that we'll see from hooked being played from hand, whether that be the common or the rare. Um, so we'll just have to deal with the one. And we do see the third Nilum tree finally come out for the Sierra at this point. I'll be curious to see if they decide to play it, especially only having 7 mana left. And they will not be able to hit that Flamel any longer since that has been played. Only targets available are the acapella training or their own hooked, which I can't imagine that they'll be able to do just to get a some moths out. So it will just be the hooked, not the hooked, rather the acapella training. We'll get to see a brass bug come out as well as two moth for themselves and 3 mana left to work with for the Sierra to potentially try to take the game before Finn gets a little bit too far ahead with card advantage. Water's delicious. We have Moth out on the field with a brass bug, and a Keylon burst comes out. That'll knock out that one character left in the Flamel. 5 mana left here for the Finn. They're gonna have to stop both sides here. The Magping Hoarder will be enough to stop and advance on the companion side. We'll lose things as far as fleeting. Still can play a 3 cost here if they so choose, and they're just gonna go ahead, keep things safe, throw down the Inkcaster to be able to return a card to their hand. Have to imagine we're gonna see that magical training go back to hand for the Finn once again. That rhymed. All right. With the 1 for 1, we are looking at the final day here, unless they 1 for 1 again, and then we could see a tiebreaker. But we do have 2 Nilums out on the board for the Sierra, which has to feel nice for them. But the Finn is definitely not out of it. They have a lot of cards in hand. They did resupply into that off you go, so not ideal in that situation. But we will see a cost reduction coming out here in order to have the permanent one of the Nilums get hit by a cloth cocoon. The first one has already been hit by the first cloth cocoon, but there's still that third Nilum left for the Sierra to utilize. We'll see if that ends up being the case here. Instead, going with the 1 cost Axiom Salvager for a play and another 1 cost magical training play for the Finn. So a lot of slow play here, seeing what the other opponent can do. We're going to see some card draw through the use of that rare hooked. 6 mana left per hero. They're playing fast at this point. And Finn going with the BM small step play, although they probably just drew it off the magical training. I'm going to choose to believe opposed to BMing it. So GG's to Czar Chasm taking the victory there with the small step play. And then we'll go ahead and head back here. Once again, want to thank everyone that has joined us thus far. This is the AWOL Season 2 Wednesday Weekly, number 13. We are in the Swiss Round 4. Still some games left to be played in the Swiss Round 4. And we will be able to watch the later setup for the undefeated folks in the next few rounds. Gonna jump in to, I think we've seen everyone play at this point. So let's go ahead and take a look at table 7 and give some of the lower tables a chance to get on the board for the stream. We do have a Sigismar that has a Monolith Ortis Bastion out versus a Finn and Crowbar that has a bunch of Ink Casters in reserve at this point. Interesting to see the Ouroboros Trickster being played, not with a Navenka deck, instead with a Finn deck. And at this point, the Finn just needs 1 more advance to take the game. Still 3 mana left. 2 mana left for the Sigismar that has to make 1 play before we see what the Finn has. Could definitely play that Sandman from reserve. We do have a 4 cost Gatekeeper out on the board that plays create an Ortis Recruit in your other expedition from hand. And if you control 1 or more landmarks, create an Ortis Recruit token in each of your expeditions. We do just see a Hathor come out, throw more stats on the board. Only 1 mana left here for the Sigismar, and they will not have enough to block the
I
Finn,
should be back.
and it will be a GG. Sounds like we have Geo back on the board, just waiting for the camera to show back up. And then we're nearing the end of this Swiss round 4 here. I think we'll have at least 1 more game potentially to take a look at.
Oh, I don't know why my camera's not showing it, but
here, and so we'll switch over to the next game that we have in this Swiss. Let's take a look at table number 5. We've seen Vint play once or twice, but we haven't seen Fiend Turi play, and
Good
they
dude.
have some fun, Ortus uniques, I believe. And I can see you now, Geo. All good. It looks like this game is going to a final day here. We're taking a look at Fiend Turi versus Vint. I'm not sure what table number it is.
Shoot. Found it. Thank you.
We do have a
Ooh,
Paper
yeah.
Herald unique in the reserve for Fiend Turi. When another token character joins your expedition, if you control a token, create an Ortus Recruit Soldier token in your companion expedition. So, solid little token factory there. And you're definitely going to have a token most of the time when you're playing Sigismar.
Yeah, that's gonna and a low cost. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great card to have for him. Meant for a Sigma.
Yeah, for sure. And we are looking at a situation now where it looks like the Kojo may have not modded previous turns in order to keep up with the Sigismar and deciding
Oh
on
no,
if
he
they,
had no eruption.
oh, they mana eruptioned
Yep.
earlier. Yep, we
Yeah.
do have one mana eruption, so they are still one mana behind here if they decide to mana or not. Or they're trying to weigh their options. I feel like you kind of have to. This also makes me think that they potentially have two other two cost cards that they want to play in hand and don't see the value of deciding to mana here on what they have available to them. So we'll see if that's the scenario or if they're just going to do it anyway with the possibility of an arena tiebreaker on the horizon. This will not be a non-Buddha turn though, so making things a little bit more difficult for them to
Is it?
potentially
Oh yeah, it is, right? Non-Buddha turn. Shoot.
for them.
No two twos.
The Sigismar can get out their unique before it is sabotaged, being the first player, which I have to imagine we will be seeing played first, unless they have another play they want to do, and they in fact do play it first. So we will see some tokens being generated, unless there is some type of removal from the Kojo, which does not look like is going to be the situation. Sure, the Kojo player wishes that they had a Haven Bravos Bastion available to them at this point, but doesn't look like they've been lucky to be able to play one, and nothing in the reserve to indicate that they've had it at any point. Um, as we see the tokens start flying here for the Sigismar with the play of that attorney.
Another two tokens that are going to be produced at the most, but can he can he go on both sides? It's like
Doesn't need
five and
to.
three cards.
Yeah, all he's got to do is stop the Kojo at this point. So it'll be interesting to see if that's the case. Kojo taking their time here as far as what they're going to play. Probably only have like technically could be able to play a 2/2 and a 1 cost, but not sure if that's going to be the scenario here. That Pathfinder not a bad card to have, especially in the terrains on the companion side. We'll have to
I
see.
run I run three of them.
Yeah, uh,
Yeah,
we'll have to see
I
if the
like my
Sigismar
Pathfinders.
has, some more stuff to be able to take care of the Pathfinder or throw some more tokens and characters out on the board to utilize that unique. Still looking like an advantage for the Sigismar, but we'll have to see what they play here.
Oof. Let's see, what do they have? I see a Baba Yaga. Oh, three sabotage already. Three Order Spies used up. And there I called it Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga gets played to the other side, making it difficult for Kojo to know what's going on, and they're just gonna opt to smash everything over on that companion side,
Yeah, big numbers. Big number.
hoping that they can out stat, and with that play, they will still outstat them in Mountain, so we may be looking at a tiebreaker and nothing left for the Sigismar to be able to stop them, so I think we may be going to a tiebreaker on a Buddha turn.
Yeah, but Sigismar gets two extra cards because of the Ortis Attorney.
Yep, we'll get some.
Dang, so many resources.
Yeah, plenty of resources. We'll have to see if the Buddha is gonna be enough for the Kojo in order to
Yeah.
take this game. we will see that token generator go away for the Sigismar, so see how that works out. Maybe even get to see that Haven pop out overall. Coming towards the second half of their deck, so definitely a possibility that they could run into it here with these next 2 draws.
This is why I like playing Son of Idrisil. Yeah, stuff like this, end game stuff.
Yeah, gigantic
Like,
characters are quite fun in the tiebreakers.
they're so fun to put out at the end. It's like, oh, this is everywhere.
Yeah.
You got to deal with it.
Yeah, I've definitely not known earlier on that the ability of the gigantic characters essentially doubles the stats for tiebreakers, and I've messed myself up before, but at this point, I think everyone is getting pretty familiar with that ruling, and we'll go ahead and start off with that Chiron played on to itself for boost, and we'll have to see if the Sigismar was able to get some more cards off of that 2 additional draw, which I have to imagine will be pretty useful, especially if they got some type of removal like teamwork training.
I wouldn't doubt that they have it up there. Or with Tiny Jail now.
Yeah.
The other fun one that Fortis players like removal.
Interestingly, do you see the common version of the Artist Trooper, which makes me think that the Sigismar player is running some other rares in place of the rare slots of the Trooper? Maybe some Jack Frost, maybe some things like Grand Endeavor. Who knows? But sometimes the rare slots can get tight, and we have seen that Trooper go down to a common in some cases.
I don't get it. No, no, not for me. It's weird. It's weird seeing that 1-1-1. Ugh. Uh,
Still a solid,
yeah.
still a solid one cost. Obviously not as good as the rare, but it gets rough sometimes with those rare slots. We do see a unique Amarok get busted out here. From anywhere, if I'm the only target character in my expedition, you may return target character or permanent with hand cost 5 or less to its owner's hand. When another character joins my expedition, sacrifice a character in my expedition, and I gain 1 boost. Then it also has a reserve effect of you may discard a card from your reserve if you do sabotage. Otherwise, you may exhaust target card in reserve. And I'm pretty sure we've seen this one before when we watched Vint.
Yeah. I think it was the first one that came out when we just started streaming.
They
Yeah,
will,
was it what wasn't it Vint versus Vint.
yeah, they will utilize to send the card back to reserve there. We'll see if that's going to be enough to prevent the stats of the Sigismar player, who's pretty much going to be able to free play at this point. The question is can they catch up to the Kojo and the amount of stats that they throw down?
Ooh, looks highly lightly. Yep, there it is.
There is
Handshake.
that removal
But I don't it's
that
not enough.
and it won't be enough. They're only
Oh,
able to hit that, and with taking 2 of the 3 terrains, the Kojo will take the victory over Fiendturi there.
yep. Bravo, bravo, Vint. Vint one. Good job, man. Good job.
Just want to take a minute. Thank everyone that has joined us thus far. You are once again watching the AWOL Season 2 Wednesday Weekly number 13. That was the end of round 4 of the Swiss, and we are jumping into round 5 here momentarily. I am Blue. You can catch me at Blue Oak TV on most platforms, but specifically YouTube. I post a video every week on Wednesday. I don't know if that'll be the case with PAX East coming up next week. If I can get a video ready for that, I'll do it. But if not, we may see a little bit of a break there, but either way, make sure to check it out. And joining me
Oh,
today is Geo as my co-caster. Say hi, Geo, and do any promotion that you'd like to do.
hello. I would like to just tell you that I'm very jealous that you're going to PAX, the good kind of jealous. Like, please do, I encourage you, please record and share the event with us that cannot go.
Sure.
Yes, please. Please do. You're gonna have it on this channel or on are you gonna put any if you do put anything up, will it be on another social media or on this channel?
I don't know if I'll do anything live or not. I'll probably just record some content and post it on my own channel, but we'll see how it goes.
Please do. Please do.
But yeah, so
Ooh.
Swiss round 5 for everyone that's still watching. We can take a look. We still have we at this point we only have one undefeated player in freeloader. So we'll take a look at. I think we
You
still
wanna
have
go?
one more game after this, so we can take a look at someone else potentially. But at this point, I think we've looked at most people. Trying to.
And Rune Folk, yeah.
We've watched them.
We
Them.
just watched Vent.
I think
Yeah.
I think at this point, the only player we haven't watched is Regulus, maybe on table 6?
Yep, but we just watched
Terry.
yeah, right? Yeah.
It's fine. Let's, get
Yeah,
everyone on
give
the
him a look.
stream. We'll get, Regulus on the stream. I don't think we've seen them yet.
Oh
And then,
no, it's a 6 month. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. No, I'm just kidding. Oh,
um,
unique already. Nice.
Regulus running a Sierra. We have seen a Sierra already. I don't think this is the same one, but, it could be, and I could just be wrong that we didn't see him. But either way, I'm fine watching a Sierra play, and we will see a, Repotter Otter in the reserve that, from reserve, each player may put a card from their hand in reserve, and from anywhere, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, target character other than me gains 1 boost.
Be right back.
Yeah, no worries. We do see a 2-0 start, for the Sigismar on that first day, being able to utilize that attorney, it looks like, and we will see that Paper Herald that we saw in the previous game come out for token generation, and will make it pretty difficult for the Sierra to contest, and they will just go ahead and pass. We will more than likely get to see another 2 advance for the Sigismar, and more than likely no advancing going on here for the Sierra this time around. They're taking their time to play the attorney, I have to assume, which will give them enough to double advance on the companion side and the hero, especially with the token generation. And there we go. There it happens. See the pass, see the 2-0. Fiendtury will be only 3 advances left now to take this game after just a measly 2 days, getting 2 advances on both days at this point. You can put We're gonna post a YouTube short from Boston. Is it gonna be, child friendly, Cole, or is it gonna be wild? AWOL mods gone wild. We can play the little, tambourine music in the background. Either way,
Yay.
more appropriate stuff. Geo is back, and we saw the,
Oh,
Sigismar take
the
it.
token maker unique. Look, here we go.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
back already.
Taking a huge lead.
Yep, but
Oh,
we do see that early play here of the Brass Bug Hive that Sierras love to play with the reduction of costs, and should still be plenty of mana left for the Sigismar to go over the top. Interesting that the Sierra decided to split in this scenario, opposed to trying to at least just get one. Um,
just
Definitely.
didn't pay that much attention to the unique, what it's doing, right? Because that one is just going to win them on one side, and those two cards are going to win them on the other, I bet.
We'll have to see what the
Yeah.
Sigismar has in hand. Definitely could be another scenario of a 2-0 potentially. But yeah, Simon could do a Boston vlog with AWOL. Always a possibility. I'm gonna bring. I mean, we're all gonna have our phones, so we could do that. But yeah,
What's a 1-1?
yeah.
Nice.
Looks like it's just a 1-1 in this scenario. Not enough cards for the Sigismar to feel comfortable getting the 2-0. Probably trying to set up here potentially to try to take this game as soon as possible to avoid that hive. Yeah,
Mm.
the AWOL OF needs a lot of content. Ever since you created it, Cole, it's just been barren, 0 subscribers. So you have to work on that.
Wait, there's an altered OnlyFans.
I,
Which
we,
one?
for the sake of our younger viewers out there, we're gonna refer to it as OF, for everyone. I'm just
Oh
kidding.
yes. Oh yeah. That place doesn't exist. Oh,
But,
and we're
we do
looking at
see
unique.
speaking of stuff that's associated with Altered, unique flawed prototype, if you wanna read that one off, there's a lot of text.
All right, let's leave the smooth brain guy to read it. Sacrifice another robot or permanent. If you can't, I gain fleeting when a card goes from your hand or deck to reserve. Quit playing stuff, guys, so I can read it. Create a brass bug 2/2 token in your hero expedition. From hand, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If it's a permanent, create a brass bug token. And yeah, that's it. Why does it keep going out? It doesn't let me read it.
He's doing too many activations for things, and thank
Right?
you, Simon. Um, but yeah, so it's a pretty cool card. I mean, obviously it costs a lot, but it has able been able to help produce some tokens there that are all gonna get some boosts due to them being robots overall. So interesting little flawed prototype. Don't get to see very many of those these days. So still a cool card to see get played. Gonna see it have to do a lot of work though, especially with being this far down on the tumult.
Yeah. It's I at least see the with that much mana and still resources, it's taken up at least one. He's advancing one, Mr. Finn.
Yeah, a lot of
I
mana
just
left for the
yeah.
Sigmar though, so still could see a lot more happen for him potentially.
Hmm. You think he gets the two on this one?
No, I don't think we'll see it too, but I think it's very possible to still get one advance, what they could do. It looks like
Miss? What'd you miss, Finn? You want to target landmark. Okay. Want to target the land with what? With sticky notes? Do you have sticky notes?
well, we're waiting on the boosts to go out here.
Oh. Oh yeah, right?
So we're still waiting
Why doesn't
on activations from the Sierra.
yeah. Why is it not popping off?
Not quite sure what the Sierra is waiting on.
Regulus or Regulus Chang. Are you there?
I don't think it's on my end. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh it real quick.
No.
Okay, so we are back into the game. I'm not sure what happened there. Things got stalled out for maybe me potentially.
No,
Um,
on my side, it was the same thing. Yeah,
so
had a
I,
brain fart. Who knows what happened, but Sigmar's winning.
we did see the Sigmar end up taking at least one advance there. And we
Yep.
are into the play of the next setup here, and we will see a double advance for the Sierra. So we may be potentially seeing a Sierra comeback overall.
Now it's now it's getting fun.
And they do still have that flopped prototype to be able to play from reserve potentially as well. But we'll have to see if that's enough. They are going to mana, and I'll be curious to see if the Sigmar decides to mana or not here. They'll only have 3 cards in hand if they end up doing that instead of the 4. And there usually is a lot of low cost cards in Sigmar decks to where you can usually get everything out with 7 mana left, especially when it's coming down to the end game here. So the Hive's still out. Sigismar hasn't found an answer for it yet, despite being ahead, and they are going to mana, so only 3 cards left to play if they don't draw anything.
Oh, this isn't. Oh. It's all got to go to one side, of course, for Sigmar.
We do see the sacrifice come out here, and curious, I'm assuming they're gonna sacrifice their own brass bug here?
Yeah, I would.
Yep, and they'll have 5 mana left to play here. We're more than likely gonna see that permanent come out. We see just a 1 cost coming out from the Sigismar. So permanent does come out, so we will see another brass bug being played and a resupply. Neither of those cards will be super helpful at this point, although an avalanche is a fun card. Not quite enough mana left to be able to play it right now. Maybe if they go to a tiebreaker that they will be able to. But in the meantime, we'll just see some brass bugs come out. that flawed prototype, since we did see a card come out from the resupply, we'll be able to create another brass bug, and Orta's Attorney comes out
Oh,
overall, and with a rare
Hogan.
Hogan coming out, we will see a lot of boosts
Yep.
on things, and a unique trooper comes out that will do something similar and still not be enough for the Sigismar, which,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what he sent to the mana there that turn, but he still had 3 mana left that he could have
Yep.
potentially worked
Exactly.
with.
What did he turn into mana? Another
But, uh
Ordnance Attorney, a sticky note?
but yeah, we do see a nice
Yeah.
little,
Why didn't he use a stick?
yeah, I don't know, but,
Yeah.
nice comeback there from the Sierra player,
That's a good
taking
one.
the
That was a fun one. Thank you for that, guys.
taking a victory over the Sigismar player. This is the AWOL Season 2 Wednesday Weekly number 13. We are in the Swiss round of 5. One more round left to go after this. We still have plenty of games left to play here, though, in round 5. Let's take a look at Cole maybe potentially lose here real quick.
Again.
Uh,
Oh, Cole.
looks like
Dang it.
that may
Dang it.
be the
Dang it, Cole.
situation that's happening here. A lot
Dang
of
it, Cole. This is horrible.
lot of characters on the board for um, Mark on the Sigismar, and not a lot left here for Cole to be able to
Hey,
play.
let's look on the bright side. Foundry mechanic can't be used.
Yeah, no perfect curve for the Sigismar. So gonna have to rely on that winter outfits and card in hand to stop whatever this is from the game from ending, which I don't have a lot of confidence in, but maybe we'll have some type of unique I've never seen before.
Gonna surprise all of us. Come
More
on, Cole.
More than likely only looking at one thing. We do see the pass from the Sigismar, and a clutch Spindle Harvester's rares come out, which is obviously gonna make things stop. Just kidding. We do see the Sigismar win that one.
Gonna make it's gonna make things. You're horrible.
But Cole takes a loss there. Only lost one elo though, so that's good. Um,
Not bad at all.
yeah.
Uh,
We'll head into another game here in the Swiss round 5. Only 2 left to be played. We'll go ahead and
room
take a look
folk
at
is
take a table 5. We haven't seen Runefolk play in a bit. Um, get to watch the Ebenezer Scrooge gameplay. Oh no, never mind. Runefolk is playing the Etzadi. I forgot about that. Etzadi being played here
9 mana and a bunch of cards in hand. Oof.
versus the
But Lindway's
Lindaway.
got the yep, he's got the two after yous down there. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Sacrifices is gonna be a thing today, apparently. You get Maul up there.
Yeah, dead even on the Tumult though, but a lot of card advantage here for Runefolk on the Etzadi, being able to
Tiny
utilize
Jin.
that mana ramp, and we'll see an immediate off you go on the Tiny Gen. Interesting.
Get out of here. I want to deal with you, Tiny Jin. Get out of here. But
Makes
it's coming up and it's coming back again. Boosted. Yeah.
makes me think that there's probably limited characters for the Linda way to play at this point, but we'll see what they have left here with the 2 cards left in hand.
No, you're on point. You're on point. Yep. I said get out of here. Giving him more mana. Why not? Yep.
Uh,
Okay.
Another card being played. Only 1 mana left for the Linda way that will pass, and we
And
will
that's
see a
it.
snowman
And
come out for the 2-0. Toddy taking the victory over the top of the Linda way player,
happens to the best of us, Maul. Happens to the
and
best of us.
likely see things pass here shortly. Full saying thank you for activating my little buddy. Yeah, yeah. And victory for Runefolk on the Itzadi. We'll see if there's any more games left to be played here on the Swiss round 5. Before we jump into the final round, and we do have the last game here in table 2 still to be finished off, and it finishes as soon as I get to it. So we are going to jump into
Yay.
the Swiss round 6. Once again, everyone, thank you for joining us thus far. This is the Altered Weekly Online League Season 2 Wednesday Weekly number 13. We are headed into the final Swiss round of number 6 for this event. We'll go ahead and take a look at who we have playing here. It looks like Freeloader did end up taking a loss in that previous round, so not undefeated
Oh
any
yeah, right.
longer. So we'll
So
see.
nobody's undefeated.
Yeah, we'll see how that ends up going. But I don't know. At this point, since there's no one undefeated, we can realistically take a look at any of the top 3 tables to decide who might be the winner. We've watched Vint a bunch, so probably not table 1. So let's take a look
Table
at table
two.
2 and
Yeah.
see how that goes. As we wait
The
on
time to
the
play.
Yeah, we'll wait on the game art to be for games to be sorted here. And then
What are you
after this,
expecting in packs, Blue?
what am I
You don't
expecting?
mind me asking. Yeah, what are you expecting to get done there? What do you want to do over there? Like, what's the most thing you're excited for?
Mostly to break Kohlrabi's knees. That'd be pretty sweet.
Oh, right. All right. We're breaking knees. So
No, not
these
knees,
Italian
not
people.
knees
Oh, I
plural.
heard knees. Just
Uh,
one.
well
It's gonna
well,
make them limp.
yeah, just for now. We'll see how he goes, but, don't wanna threaten anyone else other than him.
All
Uh,
right.
but other than that,
Well,
just enjoy the convention, hang out with, the folks that are there to do some altered stuff, and then obviously just see what else that PAX East has going on. Boston's a cool place as a whole, so I'll be excited to see what's going on there. And yeah, just
nice.
enjoy the community environment and,
So,
see how
like I said,
things.
I'm the good kind of jealous. Please blog it or whatever. We need more content for the
Yeah,
alter
for sure.
community. Yep.
We'll see what else we get going. As we wait
Cool.
for art to load, we do finally have ourselves in game here. Finn and Crowbar versus Tasia and Nara. We'll see how things
And
turn
one
out.
bit.
El Wee is a famous Finn player, usually quite good,
and
but
but yes, yes. And we.
yep, exactly.
Huh?
And we do see a Inkcaster come out, so we'll see cards returned or the one for one. Freeloader got memed while he was trying to meme. Okay, so you just got memed on your last there. Who are you playing? What deck was your opponent playing that they memed you? Freeloader.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's fine. Happens to the best of us. And waiting on this day to start.
Oh, you got festivaled. Okay, that's fair.
Ouch! That one always hurts. Like the equivalent of our Exodia, right?
Something
Yeah.
like that, right? Or or
Uh,
or being down 3 expeditions and your opponent plays a Grand Endeavor, and so it doesn't matter if you 2-0 or not when they're
yeah.
adjacent. But yeah, we'll go ahead and see a Tanuki come out on the resupply. Go ahead and
Ouch.
throw out the
Fun one.
Inkcaster as well, and
Oh, wisp.
Will
Fun
the
card
Wisp
as
too.
well, wisp. Yeah.
And
Really,
a
really good card.
pass
Place.
immediately for Elwiwi, so we'll see a 2-1 for the Tasia player. So Elwiwi going down early, we'll have to see if they can recuperate at this point. It seems like they haven't been getting the cards that they want in their hand. Always the downside of the Finn ability, you get that resupply, but sometimes you just don't get the draw that you're looking for.
For that. But you always have resources. It's such a good payoff. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Still wanna try to hit that magical training earlier on if you can, I'm sure, but, at the moment, not looking like that's the situation for Elwiwi, but, they do see the rare Amalek come out. Um, cool card that I don't think we saw a lot earlier on in Trial by Frost, but now seeing a lot of Finn players use it just to get some card draw by being able to discard any number of cards from your reserve to draw that many cards.
Taking the Tanuki back to his hand, of course.
Yep.
And here with oh nice. Yeah, cost reduction card down there. Well, the
Caleb
Wisp has the same support. Yeah. So oh go
Caleb
for it.
Caleb Lerb does not like Amali, but and well, I mean, no one likes Aether Shard, but what can you do? Either way, we do see a rare Loki come out, which is quite beneficial
Wow.
for the Tasia, but I don't know if it'll be the same for the Finn. I didn't see what they
I've
had in
never
hand.
seen anybody play it Loki. This is the first time I see somebody play a Loki and the Kickstarter version and a rare version at that. Thank
Yeah,
you for that. All right, this is a nice one.
yeah, interesting to see
Yeah.
for sure. A lot of stats on the board. We'll still have to see what the Finn was able to draw off of it. And the Twinkle
And
Twinkle
he's
will come up
just surf
big,
him to sleep.
and we may just see a potential 2 for O, if not for just a 1 for O at this moment. See if they have
That's the
another
one.
1. Yeah, see if they have another 1 cost card to play, or 2
Or if
cost
they have a
rather.
two cost,
Yeah, with
make
the
it
cost
one.
reduction.
Yeah.
And they will.
And it's flip. Yes, yes. Sacrificing the penguin. They don't have resource on the end, but they're getting two. Oh, that
Yeah,
came up weird.
yeah, I've actually seen, Amali work quite well, Caleb learned. So, it might be worth a shot. Sometimes it just feels good, especially when you can stack up your reserve a lot and when you're not used to actually drawing with, Finn or getting the cards you need in hand opposed to in the reserve. So, can be useful. I don't know if it's ideal, but I've definitely seen some good players utilize it, and Elwiwi is in fact one of those good players that I would take a
He,
look at.
sh- he should be. He's up in the 400s. Yeah, those are intimidating numbers.
Yeah, well, probably one of the higher up there Finn players that's just stayed consistent and tried to make things work for the hero. But we are looking at them taking the lead on the Smolt after that last sleep play on the Loki, but they will have to deal with the Loki now again. Not sure if they have any other interactables to do that. They could also just
Fucked up, Loki.
yeah, they also could just potentially just give up that side, give that Loki leading with acapella training as well, but we'll have to see if that is the scenario that we find ourselves in because we do have the Tasia playing first while having a mono lead, and they're gonna go ahead and just throw out another tiny gen to
Three
increase
tiny gens already.
yeah,
Yeah,
increase that lead.
nice.
Yeah, LOE is not the doesn't isn't festivaling, it's not playing the Fencible, as far as I know. Never been a big Fencible
It,
fan. I don't know. Maybe
I
I'm
tried it
wrong.
out and couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too the conditions just never lined up for me, and it just wasn't fun seeking it, so I just stopped. No reason in forcing it, right?
Yeah.
You want to have fun, you don't want to win.
Yeah, definitely could be a thing, but I've never seen him run more than one, and usually has taken either it out or tried something different. But who knows? We will see the acapella training just go ahead and be played from hand,
From the hand.
which makes me think that we may be looking at an Amali play here with 3 cards being discarded and 3 cards
Mhm,
being drawn.
more than likely. You just unless there's a no, but there's nothing that sabotages for Asia. All you get is exhaust.
Oh, I mean, we might see a rare Axiom Salvager come up. Probably not Axiom Salvage Scrambler rather.
No,
Uh,
yeah. Well, no, I don't see it.
the
Why? Why? Okay.
mall does come out. We did see that Will the Wisp come out to buff up that forest stat, and I imagine we're going to see another character come out for the Tasia here that's going to let them double advance despite the draws happening here. And so Finn will have to hope that they drew a card that they needed off of that Amali play, especially if Tasia is able to get that double advance.
Yeah, he's sacrificing two. And he is, and he's getting another card. So that happens.
Yep.
Yeah,
Plenty of stats up there for the Tasia. They're going to be able to ramp some more here, and they'll also have that Daughter of Yggdrasil from the reserve to be able to be played. And should be an interesting upcoming day here to see if the Finn was able to get what they wanted from their draw and if the Tasia is able to capitalize on their lead.
Just heavy numbers right now. A lot of mana. Let's see if he's gonna get for even more. If the Taja player's going for even more.
Could definitely do it, or they could opt to just keep the cards in
They're
hand that they have.
You got big cards to throw, Taja player. That you
Yeah,
need that mana. Well,
I
I
definitely
mean, that's a big card in reserve, like as we speak, right? But only useful on the companion side. I'm seeing Daughter of Idris. So yeah,
yeah. Unfortunate resupply into the magical training there, but we will see a unique trickster come out here, where you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, roll a die on 4 plus, draw a card on 1 to 3, resupply, and they will go ahead and draw a
or
card.
card.
And
Yeah.
being able to put that Hathor in reserve means that they can pick up that magical training as well. And congrats to Runefolk. It seems like he got the 4 wins, so now down to 4 heroes left in the challenge of the AQZ folks. Is anyone even close to
Nice.
you?
Congratulations
Is anyone even close to you, Rune? Like, who's the next person closest behind you?
on winning with each hero
Mhm.
one tournament. Guys are so savages at this game. Dang. I'm like, how can you win with some of these heroes? But you guys make it work. Goodbye. Goodbye. What a good freaking play. Nice. The Loki comes in, Kickstarter art. That had to feel good. That had to feel good. That felt good just looking at it. Like, what a
Yeah.
play.
Fun little Loki plays from this Tasia player. They do run into
What?
that,
Hmm.
that off you go
Oh,
though,
okay.
so not ideal for that, but, looks like it is a good play in general because it's a one for one and now only needs one more advance and can play that Loki again for some solid stats. Whether they do that or not, I am not quite sure, but, definitely could be an option, and
He's got the mana for it. The person got the mana for it. Shoot, you
definitely a
still have
good
more
play
than
overall,
50%.
though, especially with that Finn stacking as many cards as they had in their hand at the moment. So we'll see what happens. Looking good for the Tasia player, though. Earlier doing a master class in Loki play, and we'll have to see if it works for them or if
Cole called
LWB
it.
can
Cole
do it out.
called it. 400 is overrated. See?
Early is actually is a good player too, and the elo is
Oh yeah,
definitely
definitely.
the elo isn't usually, especially in BGA. I don't think is a super good measure. There's a lot of players out there that just play to play and they don't mind losing, and so sometimes you lose a bunch of elo when you wouldn't normally instead of try harding or something. So
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of good players
Every
out
time I
there for
lose,
different things.
every time I lose because I don't try hard.
There you go.
No, no.
Except for Cole's still at 100 and forever at 100, and you can read what into whatever you want from that. JK, not really.
Like silver and League of Legends. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
understand the game.
Forever
Yeah.
bronze. Um,
Now, does he have to get rid of some? No, right? No, 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 no.
no, he
Just barely the
resupplied.
first day. Yeah, first
Yeah,
wave.
resupplied on the hero ability here, so we're gonna wait to see what, the Tasia player has in hand, I have to assume, maybe saving the Loki for a later play, and they're gonna, opt just to throw the permanent down. Interesting.
Yep. Straight up defense. So that off you go is almost going to be useless.
Yeah, it would,
It's going to be too high up a cost. Yeah.
yeah, it would cost 6 depending on what's going on. Yeah, that's fair, Cole. You gotta stay humble sometimes. You gotta knock yourself back down. Um, yeah, you don't wanna get too crazy and think you're super good at the game and start doing wagers or something.
Up the front door, like going to Kansas City and thinking that you're going to play for keeps over there.
Yeah,
Nobody
exactly.
shows up, so you're the default champion. Anytime anyone want to come get some, it's up for grabs.
Um, do you still have that trickster from reserve, potential play from the Finn player? Gonna sneeze real quick.
Chew. No, did I miss it? dang it, I missed it.
I muted myself.
Oh,
But,
trying to be polite to everybody.
the, Magping is also a pretty good play as far as stats are concerned, but they're gonna have to be careful, I have to imagine, depending on what the, Asia has. But, taking some time to think about it first, that, Trickster does have a each character controlled by target player gains fleeting to them. Could be a good card depending on what's going on. Probably not the ideal situation for the end game here, but, we'll see what happens as the Finn is still deciding on what they wanna do here
Oh, the
with
penguin. Oh, wouldn't you? Oh, no.
they are able to
Aha!
resupply with Esmeralda into a unique that, from reserve, you may discard a card from your reserve. If you do, draw a card. And from hand, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, draw a card. So just some more drawing
That's a
happening here with this unique Lyra Scald.
that's a solid card. Yeah, I like that unique.
Yep, getting some card draw in there, depending. We'll see if it happens to even matter here,
No, I don't. Not at all. I don't think
but
it's gonna do anything.
it'll just depend on how many stats the Asia can get and compete with the Finn. Definitely that Magping Hoarder can still get some stats on the board, and I'll be curious to see if we do see the Loki be played because that'll limit the options for the Tasia player, but we'll have to wait and find out.
Well, I think at least one of those is a 3 cost, so yeah, he's playing if he's playing that Loki, he's playing another card, the minimum, but the Fem player definitely would use that on the hero side, that unique that he just fire. So, yeah, I don't see why not.
Definitely could be
It's
an
a set that
option.
he needs to advance. Yeah, it's a set that he needs to advance.
Could also throw it on the
Mm.
companion side to block off the Esmeralda if so choose. But well, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. A lot of thinking going on here in this round. We are watching the AWOL season 2 weekly number 13, and this is the final round of the Swiss. No undefeated players at this point. Freeloader decided to troll too much and got Lyra Festivaled, and we'll
Out of
find
all
out.
the ways, out of all the ways.
Yeah, we'll find out which one lost player was able to take the victory, either through tiebreaker on BGA, or we just have too many losses here in this final round. Probably not possible, but we'll see. And we will see the Loki come out. And in his
Wants
defense,
a new hand, so
it was a
oh
turn
no, it
four
doesn't do
vessel.
it. Just a vanilla high stats.
Yep, from reserve, and so, okay, so Freeloader got a pretty early festival on him, so yeah, it's your bad, Freeloader, it's okay, though, we'll forgive you one day. But,
That's a great that's an even better card. Yep.
Anansi comes out, which is huge stats at this point. Have to imagine the
Yes,
Tasia probably only has one other card left to here to play potentially,
he's regretting that one.
um, especially with that Magping Hoarder still in the reserve, can still see 444 in stats come out potentially for that Finn. So we may be looking at another day if not
I think Fenn's got it. I think Fenn might have it, right? If he doesn't do something on the on the companion side, I think Fenn has it.
I don't know if they'll get a 2-0,
Nice.
but we'll have to see how it turns out.
Oh yeah, the spindle thing.
But yeah, still 3 banner left per hero. Tasia taking their time, utilizing all of those 15 minutes that they have available to them. More than likely
This
gonna
this
see.
this is why I think that I haven't played with people because if you're getting close, I'm just gonna start just doing like the weirdest shit. Yeah, start gargling freaking like sodas. I was just being super annoying, farting. Yeah, make it very uncomfortable. Yeah, just make it. Hey man, you gotta hurry up. Hey, hurry up, man! Come on!
Gonna get
Yeah.
salty, but we do see that
Yes.
Dado Vij still being played. Some good stats. It won't be enough to block the Magping Hoarder in water, though. So we may just be looking at a victory here and getting that 2-0 that I didn't think that was going to be possible for the Finn, unless there's something else happening here that I missed with the Tasia player.
No, no. I think yeah, you're right.
Interesting. I thought,
I would have definitely tossed it to the other side. The daughter of Idrisil to drop at one.
I mean, you guarantee
But
lose here. If you played it to the other side,
yep,
you could potentially just force a
block
1-0.
a one. Yeah. But
But
this is a loss, and well, and we showing why he's the wee man. Shoot,
but
but yes, yes, dang it.
we will go to the tiebreaker there at least. And we will see that unique support ability come into play for the trickster that we saw and give that daughter of Yggdrasil fleeting. So will not be able to be played from reserve and utilize the stats here in the tiebreaker for the Tasia. But they will be able to draw, and I wouldn't be surprised to see all of these cards kept, depending on if they run into the high cost or not. Um,
That was another Loki out. Just yeah. Even though it doesn't help him at all. Just
yeah. But, yeah, so, I mean, we're going into this tiebreaker. It seems like the Tasia felt more comfortable heading into a tiebreaker than into potentially another day. Um, so we'll see if that ends up being the case. Should be pretty similar as far as resources available to both players. The Tasia's trying to decide if they want a mana here. I don't think they have to, but maybe they ran into some high cost cards that they're gonna need to set up for. Who knows? May get another
that
Loki, like
Asani
you
is gonna
said.
come out pretty that Asani is gonna come out pretty buffed.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that
So
extra other one. So it's gonna be a cheap cost one. Yep. So you hmm, difficult. That's difficult.
but,
Unless they got Jack Frost in there.
either way, a good game to run into here for the final round of the Swiss here at the AWOL Weekly number 13. Glad we were able to watch a tiebreaker and watch this game in full. Both of these players are, in fact, 4-1 at the moment and still have the possibility of taking the tournament if they win. We'll have to see how the tiebreaker works out with BGA. But it does look like we're going to see
Oh,
mana coming out here for the Tasia and a nice resupply for the Finn player, especially if they can keep on putting cards in the reserve. Um, gonna be able to throw
yeah.
out a lot of stats with those Anansis, but, we'll see what the first play is.
And
So,
of course, why not? Heavy numbers quickly
yeah,
or
throw out
anything else
Anansi right away.
interrupts.
Be curious to see if we see a bigger card being played here, and it doesn't look like that. We're gonna start off with just some draw.
Oh, oh,
Resupply is a nice one for more Anansi setup.
still have three over after playing the other Anansi.
Yeah, and with
But
that
10 mana is still a lot. 10 is a lot in four cards. Who knows what bring out.
yeah,
This is
and
why I like gigantic.
yeah, and I don't know if anyone saw that, but, with that resupply, Elwiwi did go through their deck, and now their discard is gone, and they are back to the deck.
Oh yeah, right.
You see some more drawing happening here with the
Yes.
daughter of Yggdrasil, some solid stats. Can Elwiwi do enough here with only 5 mana? The ramping that the Tasia has done early has definitely been helpful. Twinkle Twinkle is a good start, removing a lot of stats from the board. No rallying call ready for the Tasia player, so they're just going to have to opt to throw more characters on the board.
And another Sani. Cheap high. That's 8, 10, 10.
Ooh, and the sleep of
Ooh.
their own comes out, and that'll be enough here shortly with another sleep coming here. And
Yep.
Tasia will take the game. What a tiebreaker. A lot of sleeping
What is
characters.
yeah, yep. Sleep is just so OP in this part. But yep.
So
Good
GG to
job.
Erlea there, keeping themselves in contention for the top spot in this AWOL event. We'll go ahead and head back and see if there are any more games to play. That game took a good amount of time, so that may
Was a
have been
fun one
it.
too. Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
they're all done. They're
And
all done.
they are, in fact, all done. So that'll be the first round that, we see just us watching the whole thing and it being done.
Yeah,
So let's go ahead and switch back here and we can take a look at the tournament results for everyone. We'll do a quick recap before we close things out. And despite losing there in that previous round, Freeloader does indeed take the top spot
takes it.
at first place. And but we do see Erlea there on the Tasia end up getting the second spot. We do have Vint at third. We got to watch them a few different times. AQZ Runefolk gets the 4 wins that they need in order to get up there and take one of the heroes off the list of the AQZ challenge. GG Mark is going to get fifth. Impuissant in sixth. Regulus Chang, we also saw play a little bit in seventh.
Oh, wee
Agite
wee.
El Wiwi in eighth. And Mammalian in ninth. Alphabet Soup 10th. Sarcasm 11th. And Cole Robbie following things up here in 12th, staying the entire time while others withdrew. Appreciate that, Cole. Someone's got to be
Yeah, you
last.
have
And I'm glad
class,
it.
Cole. You have class. There you
And you
go.
still got top
Everybody else
16.
just goes earlier.
Cole
Yeah,
still
there you
got
go.
top
Yeah,
16. Good
counts,
job.
counts.
But yeah, that's it for today. Any last words that you'd like to go over here, Gio?
No, just keep harassing people to play the game. You know, we need more players. We need more people loving this thing because once you get hooked, you get hooked. It's like ringworm, right? It's there. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for joining us. Blue, thank you for your patience, and yeah, this was a blast. Thank you as always. Yeah.
Yeah, Scrooge store meta is what Freeloader's saying in chat. Buy your Scrooges now. Are you selling all your Scrooges Freeloader on the marketplace? How much are they? Only $20?
Only $20. They're
Yeah.
like 12 cents if you buy them from somebody in
Shh,
Cambodia
shh,
or something like
shh,
that.
shh, 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 shh. Anyway, we're gonna
I just ruined it.
monopolize all the Muna Scrooges, Freeloader, especially after that win. So either way, thank you again, everyone in the chat. Oh, you need them all to play your top meta deck? Okay, yeah. That's my bad. So you're gonna play it next time, right? You're definitely not gonna switch it up? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, just keep playing that so that everybody knows how to counter it or something. That way we
Yeah.
can see different plays and stuff like that.
But yeah, that'll be it for the day, folks. Thank you all for joining us. Was a great stream. Thank you to Gio for casting alongside with me. Be sure to check out my own YouTube channel, Blue Oak TV. I do a video every week. I don't know if I'll do one next week because I'll be traveling for PAX, but I may be able to have something recorded before then. Either way, new video out today. Check that out. And other than that, just subscribe. I need attention. Um, and I'll catch you
We all
guys all
do.
later.
We all do. Yeah. Have a great one, Blue. God bless. Bye.
Bye, everyone.